Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully, you guys are all good out there in the land of the interwebs. If there's anybody in the chat as well, guys, if you're watching live right now, let me know if you can hear me all good. Are we coming through? Is the stream coming through? Is the audio working all good? Let me know. I would very much appreciate that. And as always, guys, you can drop a like, subscribe, share the stream out, all that good stuff. It is appreciated. Am I having connection issues? It's telling me the audio stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than the recommended bitrate. What? That's not true. Shouldn't be anyway. Yo, guys, if there is somebody in the chat, let me know if the audio's coming through. I'd appreciate that, because YouTube's telling me my audio's bought, but it shouldn't be. I haven't changed my audio quality. It should be more than enough. I've got it set to the right kbps. I'm pretty sure have I got it set to 128 or higher? I don't know. But anyway, welcome. Like I say, let me know if you can hear me all good. It'll be very much appreciated, guys. So, yeah, let me know. But give me a second and then we'll get this thing started. We are going to be taking a little look at a couple of the different assets that I've been playing around with today, and maybe some others, and a little bit of speculation on some of the other assets maybe, and have a little look at what's going on with Bitcoin, Doge, ADA, Ethereum, all of the news that we've had over the last 24 hours as well, which has been pretty freaking insane. And the markets have obviously reacted to said news. I want to try, how is it as well, guys, if anybody knows, how do you pin a message to the top of chat for the stream, if anybody knows? Okay, can I? How do I do that? I'm gonna have to have a Google at doing that, because I ain't got a clue how I do it. I was thinking, like, can I just post the comment and then pin the comment from there? Maybe. I'm not too sure. Let's try. Let me pop it in chat. Claim free crypto while watching it. Using the Incent app. Download on the iOS or Android store. Okay. Right. Let's put that in. And let's see if pin message. There we go. So I think I just have to type it in and then I can pin it from there, yeah? Let me know if that message is pinned to the top of the chat, guys. Let me know. Hey, there we go. It's pinned to the top of the chat. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Give me a second here. Alright, and sweet. Okay, awesome. I learned a thing. I was just thinking about that before I went live. I was like, actually, I want to pin a comment to the top of the chat. But I was like, I haven't got a clue how to do it, but it's simple. Just type it in and then I can pin it. I think I'll be able to pin anybody's comment, actually. So that's kind of cool. Give me a second here then, guys, and then we'll get this thing started. If you haven't already, be sure to drop a like on the stream, share it out, all that good stuff. It's very much appreciated, guys. And remember, if you are ever considering investing, don't just follow what anybody else says. Don't follow what anybody says on the internet, guys. Do your own research. Only invest what you're willing to use. And, do as much research as you possibly can, guys. And always remember that once you're investing, it could be all lost. So that's always a thing to take on board and be sensible with your investments, guys. Like anything, when you're putting money into it, make sure you're being safe for your money, because it's hard-earned cash, and you don't want to get losing it unnecessarily. You know, it happens, bad things happen, but you really want to mitigate risk as much as possible. So be sensible. Don't take advice from anybody, guys. Do your own due diligence, do your own research, and learn as much as you possibly can before you ever play around with things. And like I say, make sure you're only ever investing what you're willing to lose. Never go too hard. Never spend your rent on it, guys. I've seen a lot of people doing that just lately with all the hype around certain things. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But anyway, let's get this thing started then, shall we? Hopefully you guys are all good, man. Let me get rid of this. I really need to sort out Spotify Premium, man. I'm such a scrub. I've been saying for ages, I need to get Spotify Premium sorted, and then I don't. I actually got logged out my Spotify account today. So I just linked it to Fuckbook. So yeah. All right, then let's move this out of the way. I need a freaking shave, man. Oh my god. And as well, me hoodie pull strings are looking absolutely decimated. That's what you get for having a puppy who just likes to just chew on your freaking hoodie strings, which is awesome. The amount of hoodies that my pull strings are becoming frayed now because Elsie's just like, ooh, that looks like dinner. Can I chew on it for a little bit? So yeah, yo, but like I say, guys, be sure to drop a like, share the video out, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new. And to anybody of my old viewers who are watching at the moment, I do appreciate you coming through. We will have gaming content back soon. I'm planning to either get a stream out late tonight or tomorrow for some gaming content. So yeah, it's just been a little bit manic just lately, and I'm trying to, you know, put myself in as good a position as possible. We're in a bull run, so it's been lots and lots of late nights, and I've just not had the energy to play video games, really, if I'm honest. That's all it is. I'm doing like 18-hour days. Some nights I've gone without sleep. I know I shouldn't do it, but you know, you gotta get that bread, man. You gotta get that bread, right? So yeah, we've been chasing checks, guys. So yeah, it's been a little bit difficult to put the content out at the minute. But like I say, hopefully we'll have a gaming stream tonight. If not tonight, we'll be back tomorrow with some gaming stream stuff. So regarding these streams where we just chill, hang out, maybe talk a little bit about crypto, guys, maybe have a little of the markets, maybe I'll do a little bit of trading while we're on. These are only going to be on YouTube. So when it comes to like my gaming stuff, we'll continue streaming as normal like we do on Twitch as usual. And like I say, this week we'll be getting back into things. I'm slowly starting to get myself into a bit better of a schedule now. Still doing some crazy late nights some days, but not so much. So hopefully we'll be better set now for the coming weeks and months, and we'll be good to go. Because you know this bull market could last until December, possibly. You don't know. It might end before that. I think we might be looking at summer. I'm not too sure, but you know it could go on for a while. So there's no point totally burning myself out every single day of it because I'll be destroyed. But yeah, guys, we have news to discuss today that came in yesterday. Tesla investing into Bitcoin, also putting on the balance sheet, allowing people to pay in future. I don't know if that's a thing right just yet, but you'll be allowed to pay in Bitcoin. So if you've got a nice stack of Bitcoin, guys, and you want to buy a Tesla with it, you can buy a Tesla with it now, which is an amazing move just in general, just for the legitimization of the crypto space. Not that it's not legitimate anyway now. We've got big institutional money coming in for a while now. Billionaires are getting on board, and Elon's just took it that step further and took the corporation in as a entity, which is, you know, it's pretty freaking cool, man. So hopefully, you know, we'll start to see more of that happen, and it'll just, I know a lot of people, I'm like, well, we don't want big money coming in. It's like, well, you do, because we're never really going to make this a future global thing if big business and institutions don't come along. They have to. We have to bring the big boys over, and you know, hopefully create a fairer system for everybody in the future. But we need those guys coming over. So it's good that Tesla have made that move. Now, hopefully, we'll see more corporations and companies, forward-thinking places, start really getting involved in the crypto space, getting into things like Bitcoin, which will be the first place to go for a lot of places because of it being such a good store of value. And then I think we'll probably see a leak over into things like Ethereum and places like ADA and Polkadot, if I'm honest, especially with the CME futures launching now for Ethereum. We are going to probably start seeing big money coming into the other parts of the market. Anyway, all right, let's get over here, shall we? And let's have a look at the book, shall we? Where's me Minecraft tunes? All right, there we go. Let's move that out of the way. All right, then. So, just be taking a little bit of a look at ADA today. I'm thinking about maybe snapping a little bit more ADA. We did top out around about what I think we hit. Where were we on Binance, actually? Let's have a little look on Binance. I think we did top out around about 70 cents. Oh, we did. We actually got to 72. nearly 72.3 cents on ADA yesterday. We've retracted a little bit there. Of course, we've retracted because of what's going on with Bitcoin at the moment. When Bitcoin really starts to rally like that and the Bitcoin dominance returns, altcoins typically tend to pull back a little bit, kind of just hold the place, and we've done that with ADA. We've had a little bit of a retraction, come back a little bit, tried again, got rejected off the 70 cents line, and now we're dropped back down. We did break out to this this wedge here. I don't know why I pulled this wedge all the way back here, but we did break out of that wedge. We've fallen back down, broken down a little bit now, so I think we will. This is quite a strong level of support actually around here, so I think 67, 66 cents we're probably going to hold. We'll see how things go over the next hour or so. We are, you know, like we've come from here, we are still... It's in a little bit of limbo at the minute, I think, really. Like, with Bitcoin making massive moves at the moment, obviously everything's going to follow. So we could see a little bit more downward momentum, actually, from ADA, which I'm totally cool with in the long run, because I'm still super bullish on ADA. I still think we're going to see $1 or more on ADA. I think we are going to see a true explosion of it soon. So I'm totally fine. If anything, it's a good thing if we come down a little bit more, because that gives me a chance to buy a little bit more. So, yeah. Let's have a look on the hourly, shall we? So yeah, we have got a lower high here, and we are starting to get some lower lows. Oh, that's why my wedge was in there. I must have drew it on the hourly. I was looking on that 15-minute then. Hey, what's going on, Jambo? Welcome to the stream. Let me turn that down because that seems super loud for me. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Can nip in here for a bit before tutorial 2 and lecture 3, both politics. I'm still working on for a moment, yeah. Zoom lectures, are they? Zoom lectures. So that's why we had that on there. We are in kind of a little bit of a falling wedge here. So, you know, possibility is still breaking down, but I think we're probably going to see some more upside. I think we might follow this trend a little bit more down. Like I said, maybe around about to 66 cents. And then, like, this seems to be a real range of movement at the minute for ADA. So I think we're probably going to come down to about 66 cents. And then we might see a break to the upside, test 70 cents again. And then, depending on what's going on with Bitcoin, that's totally possible, like I say, that we break it and we continue to the upside. Because, like I say, still bullish on ADA. I'm waiting for that dollar to break. And then... if we can chug on to $1.50 and we break $1.50, then, you know, all bets are off. We could easily see $2 in no time at all, actually. Let's have a little look on what's it, because I've got some different indicators on it. I'm actually looking to maybe grab a new indicator soon. I'm going to try one of these algo indicators just to give them a test, really. I typically go off like work my own indicators, really, but I want to have a look at one of these algo indicators. It's kind of like a bot, but it's not bot trading. Some people do bot trading, but it acts like, you know, the bot basically says buy, sell, and I'm just curious to see how it works. Don't always, like, that's one thing that people do as well when it comes to doing a little bit of bot trading. They just listen, you know, bot says buy, and it's not, you got to get confirmation when it comes to trading, guys. Don't just listen to one indicator all the time, because it will get you burnt. You want that confirmation. You want to use volume along with the patterns, along with the different indicators. Get that confirmation. Get it across different time spans as well, and you know, you'll find yourself winning in a lot more trades. So yeah, we're still looking good on ADA, man. We are still looking good. You know, if you'd have coming down here on a longer or anything, you'd be still flying high. I brought in at multiple points. I brought in down. I can't remember when I first initially came in. It was quite low though. Second amount of coming around about 34. I bought more at 44. I bought more at 60, I think, and then I bought more when we dipped back down to 66. And I think I bought more on another dip as well when we came back down to the 66, 67 area, I think. So I've stacked up a little bit of bags with ADA. So obviously more profit on some of them bags than others. But, you know, like I say, I think we're going to surpass $1, so that should be nice. But really for me, ADA, I'm not really worrying too much about this particular run for ADA, because for me, ADA's a long-term bag. I really do think it is. That, along with DOT, when it comes to altcoins, are ones that I'm looking to try and pick up a nice bit of them and hold on to them for the next bull runs, because I do think they're not, like, you know, altcoins can be great for making massive gains quickly. But at the minute, like I say, I'm stacking on bags. I'm not one of them people that's throwing huge amounts of money in that I can make some serious gains off in the short term. The plan is to take some profit at the end of the bull run, and buy back in, stack my bags even more, and that's the plan really, and hope that Ada and Dot do some things over the next few years. That's the plan anyway. I'm really bullish on them over the coming years, if I'm honest. Still Zoom, we've been told unless it's tier 2 or lower, then there'll be no in person. Oh, okay. I'm doing good, thank you, dude. I'm doing very good. No, well, I'm doing good, but if you notice, I've got a bastard rocking chair now, because Rosie loves to come and sit her lap on my lap, doesn't it? I keep saying, like, look, this is, I think it's built for like 18 stone. And like, I'm 12, 13 stone. Add you in, man. That's too freaking heavy for the chair. As, sits on me again. So, and what happens? I'm not going to get into it too much because I was pissed. I'm not even bothered about the chair. But I'm like, in the minute, I'm trying to stack. It's like, oh man, I'm going to go and spend another 150 fucking quid now because I'm going to get this fixed. But I need to order some parts for it. It's going to take a little bit of a while. So that's annoying. So like basically what's happened, the center core that you like attaches to the base of the chair and attaches to the wheels has come down lower now. So it's kind of, that's what's sitting on the floor. So the wheels are not actually on the floor. So it's like, I'm kind of doing this at the moment. So yeah, thanks for that, Rosie. Appreciate it. It's a good job I had a good day yesterday on trading, really, because I'm more than made up. Like, yesterday was a good day, really. More than made up for buying the chair yesterday. But still, you don't want to have really good days and then be like, let me just take a portion of that profit to go and buy a bloody new chair. But I suppose, good thing, getting my new one. I can get this fixed in a week or two, and Rosie can have it then as well. Investors are saying Dogecoin is going to be worth millions by the end of the year. I don't know where you're hearing that from, dude, but those people are talking shit, if I'm honest. Those investors are chatting bollocks if they're saying Dogecoin will be worth millions. Yeah, dude. Dogecoins, I'm not saying you can't make millions, depending on what your investment is, and you're getting low and you're getting pumps. You can make millions off Doge. That's definitely a thing. If you'd have got in at Doge at, quarter of a penny, you'd have made some really nice money if you'd have dumped a good amount of cash into it. But Doge is not going to be worth millions. I'm still massively surprised that Doge is still holding these lines. But I think what at the minute is because there's so many people who've bought in at the minute, they're desperately holding onto the bags for a hope that something's going to happen. And obviously, previous moves have really pushed Doge to be in a position now where it's holding, where typically it probably would have broke down by now. But we are still in alt season. We are in a bull market. So all of this previous buying pressure from all of the Reddit community and the first initial Twitter stuff, and then we dumped, and then Elon came back in. Like, I think here Elon came in, here Elon came in, here. I think all of these real serious uptends are pretty much where, apart from this one, I think this was the only one, and this one, where it wasn't spurred on by a tweet. I could be wrong about this one, but this wasn't spurred on by a tweet. But that's because it's kind of in a bullish uptrend now. All the tweets have pushed it into a bit of a bullish uptrend. The thing with Doge, though, it's a coin that pumps every cycle. Whenever we go into a market like what we're in now, Doge pumps without Twitter, without everybody coming together. It pumps. It's just one of those coins, and people who trade know that, and people get in early. And Doge does pump. It does. It dumps. So every single cycle, it dumps. So, the trend's your friend till the end. So there's no reason to say now that it's not going to dump. And the fundamentals of the coin basically as well kind of prohibit it becoming anything worth real value unless the entire world was buying in at an insane rate to offset the inflation of the 5 billion extra coins every year. But at the same time, over 50% of Doge is owned by 20 people. So, whatever, all the other fundamentals, that's just a massive risk when you're investing in something, because just imagine if over 50% of Bitcoin was owned by 20 people, that'd be a market that I wouldn't want to be in, because they could destroy the market just like that. Because there's rumours going around now as well, a lot of people, especially these Doge fanatics who've popped out. It's one thing to be in for the memes, but there's a lot of people out there now who are really acting like, just because Elon's made some statements, which would, let's face it, jokes really. People are getting a little bit carried away of what Doge actually is. So all I'll say to everybody, guys, if you are playing around with Doge, just be careful, man. Be really careful. This still doesn't look terrible. Do you know what I'm saying? But this seems to be a level that Doge is just not able to get past at the moment. I believe it would have probably come down further here. But if you remember this right here, Elon made another tweet, which kind of, brought it back from the dead almost. And we dumped back down a little bit. But I think that volume there was enough to just stop us really cascading down. So we've kind of held that trend line for a little bit. But this was a real nice strong build up here. But I think if the more we hit this, the more likely we are to break through. But I don't know, man. With Doge, I think we are going to see a severe dump soon. Elon seems to have backed off tweeting about it now. So that's another thing. Once a few days pass by that, the internet chatter's going to die down a little bit. People are going to see the rest of the market making moves. And sensible people are going to start taking profit and taking their money elsewhere. And then that'll lead to lower prices. More people will do the same. Bears will take over the bulls. Buying pressure will go down because people will see the prices going down. It's just a natural thing in the market. It happens. Every asset does it. Bitcoin's going to do it. But the thing with Bitcoin is over the years, and I'm not saying Doge hasn't had some incremental increases, but the thing with Bitcoin will do this because people are like, oh, Bitcoin dumps, and it does, but Bitcoin does this. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it might have its dumps in its cycles, but as long as you're coming in around these areas, even after the dump, you're going to be in a good position. And that's why it's always good with Bitcoin. If you get in here, hold until you're up here. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, up here you want to be, but you know what I'm saying? The cycles always push to the uptrend. Doge is a little bit different. Doge is a little bit more of a horizontal kind of, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it doesn't go a little bit higher each time, but, this is, with Doge, you want to be getting in here, getting out round this area, and getting back in round here again, and then getting back out here. Don't buy in on Doge, hoping that you're going to ride this out and hope that you're going to be up here in some time soon. You want to get in, get out, get in, get out. That's how you make your money with Doge, and it's the best way to be. That's how you make your money with pretty much every asset, really, apart from, like I say, Bitcoin, because, it just seems that you're buying Bitcoin, it just continues to go up and up and up. So... yeah, just definitely be careful with it, guys. I really keep saying this to people. I think there's too many people out there at the moment, especially these Doge streams, who are really giving out terrible misinformation to people. Absolutely just terrible misinformation. And it's gonna cause a lot of people to get wrecked, so just be careful with it. But still, it's not looking terrible. This is going to be a critical time, though, I think, over the next few hours. Today, I think it's going to show what Doge is going to do. We might continue to have some consolidation and another turn to the upside. But like I've already said, this is the maximum that I think we can possibly go. But I really do think that's not going to happen. I think maybe 10 cents could be possible in this run. 10 to 12 cents possible. But like I say, with the teetering off now of people's typing... Doge trending, and people tweeting about it, obviously that sort of momentum's going to burn out. And the thing what you got to take into account as well, of course, Doge has had mental moves, and you can still make money on the daily on Doge, on these swings, if you catch them right. You can. But you got to take into account, with all the hype around Doge, this shows how fundamentally the way Doge is built works against it becoming increasing in price to any degree. Obviously, like I've explained, the market cap, the coin cap, and basically having very little fundamentals holds it back. But what you got to take into account, we're in a bull run right now. Do you know what I'm saying? There's coins out there that nobody's pimping out that are pumping because they're good fundamentals and they have market caps and low liquidity as well, which helps push prices up as well. Obviously, you want liquidity in some of them, but once the liquidity really does start to come down in certain assets like Bitcoin, that's where prices start to surge. Same with Ethereum at the minute. We're looking at real massive trends to the upside in Ethereum, minus looking at the charts, just more in the sense that there's less ETH going around at the minute in supply than I think since 2018, which is priming ETH to start to boom. So I do really think we're going to see 2K on ETH very soon, actually, very, very soon, if I'm honest. So that's a thing. But yeah, like I say, I'm not saying there's still not maybe money to made in Doge, but just be careful. If I hadn't got any Doge now, or if I still had, like I said, I got out around 82. If I did have some skin in the game, I'd have been out by now. I would have been out. Like, this is starting to get a little bit worrying. We're in a position now where it's deciding what it wants to do. We're either going to have a continuation to the upside, but a lot more less dramatic, should I say, or we're going to dump like a mofo. Whether we dump hard and go all the way down, or we go for a new higher low and then try again, is still a thing that could happen. We could dump. We could see a movement to the downside and it kind of try again and then maybe break up and then break down, or we're going to see either a dump or we're going to just see a gradual and then a dump. Because the thing is, when Doge moves like that, it moves fast as well. So, and it's always it is a typical rule as well, guys. The faster something goes up, typically the faster it comes down as well. So you got to be careful, man. Chainlink at the minute, it's turning into a stable coin, man. I swear to God. It's just like I've made some nice profit on Link. Like, I'm up massively. I came in at around I came in at $10, $12, and $15 on Link. So I'm up. You know what I mean? But like, it just seems to, you know, we're still getting like, it doesn't look like it's not moving, but it's just really kind of just hovering around at the moment. Like, if you go onto the hourly, we're still in an upward trend, but it's like and it's a healthy upward trend, but it's a boring one. But it's still looking good. I still think very soon, if we can break above this high, we're gonna see $30 soon, I think. And I think if you can break $30, I think we might see some actual quite quick movement to the upside. Maybe $50, maybe even $100. I really think Link could hit $100. But like I said, at the minute, it's just it's not make any real rapid moves. It has these moves where it does have a good bit of movement, but then it just it's kind of like sits within this range of motion, really. So hopefully we get a little bit of a break to the upside soon over the next couple of days. That'd be nice. But yeah, man, the markets have been insane the last few days. Obviously, with Tesla investing in Bitcoin, caused Bitcoin to have its biggest daily candle ever. I think it went up 8K on the daily candle, which is pretty freaking insane. VET seems to be making moves as well at the minute. VeChain. I've had a bit of VeChain for a while, so I'm hoping this does some nice things over the rest of the bull run, over alt season. Hopefully, we can see a nice break to the upside, which we could maybe, if we reject off here, we could maybe build a little big cup and handle there, really. Let's bring it right up, man. So I think we might start to see a bit of a break to the upside actually as well on VET soon, which will be nice. I'm really not too sure though where VET could go, if I'm honest. It's underperformed a little bit of late, but it's really starting to pick up steam now. So, you know, we'll see. Litecoin, kind of just, you know, I haven't had a look at Litecoin actually at all. I would imagine he'd had a little bit of a pump yesterday because it typically follows Bitcoin. So he did have a bit of a nice recovery yesterday. It's trying to go for that high again. So really, we're in a position there to see, will we break out? Again, I see them everywhere. I know I do, but cup and handles, man. Cup and handles. We're still in an ascending triangle sort of shape there as well, which really are quite bullish. You know, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't mean we're going to break to the upside, but percentage-wise, you typically will see more of it, more likely to break to the upside. We could see a fake out and then a breakdown, but we'll see there. Still looking good, though. Everything's looking good at the minute. Like, if you're not making money, if you're in crypto at the minute, if you're not making money, then I don't know what you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? I really don't know what you're doing, because unless you're short in the market now, you should be making money. Even if you've just spot bought, if you've just literally bought a bit of crypto and left it, it should be worth more than what it was, unless you went for a really bad project or unless you bought Doge at 8 cents. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be losing money right now. And if you are, you need to take a look at yourself, slap yourself, and sort your life out, basically. That's all I'll say to that. And if you have lost money, I do feel for you. But you shouldn't be losing money now, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? You're in a bull market. You don't short a bull market. Either spot buy, getting some tasty lungs, and you should be good. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're going to win every trade, but you should win more than lose, and then you're in the green then. But if you're losing money right now, you're doing something very wrong. Very, very wrong. Always wanted to get into investing, but I have no idea where to start. Flags arrived yesterday. Got a table flag, a lion rampant, and a 5 foot by 3 foot lion rampant flag. Oh, nice, man. Nice. You'll have to put a picture of them in Discord for me, dude. I'm going to have a look at this side of things. Stick 15, 20 quid into it and see how it turns out. Well, that's it. I won't ever advise you what to do, But for me personally, I just think ADA's a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong, we're going to have the bull run and we're going to have a bit of a dump after it happens. It's just the nature. But I really do think ADA and DOT are super promising. I just hope the devs don't let us down with ADA, because like 2017, it had a run, it got to $1.50, and it really had nothing going for it then. And they've done a lot of work since then. So yeah, I'm really, really bullish on it, man. So even though I would never suggest to people what to do, I think it would be a solid investment in my opinion. That and DOT as well. They're still in really, really low price ranges in my opinion. Like I say, I think DOT could hit $100 this bull run. I really think we could see a $2 ADA easy, possibly more. Like the way when ADA starts to move, it moves, and it showed in this bull run, and I think it could really still continue to move. We've had a lot of upside, but it still looks really good. The only thing that slowed it down really yesterday was the Tesla news, because like I know you might like, because Bitcoin going up does pull the market up. But when it has these parabolic moves, everything kind of stands back a little bit, because people, obviously are moving money into Bitcoin because it's moving, and, vice versa. Bitcoin starts to stagnate out. People start to take profit because it's not really doing much and put it into altcoins. So that caused ADA to slow down a bit, but not really that much, Even after that dump on Bitcoin, it still pulled back up, and then yesterday the news happened, and it's kind of just figuring out what to do now. It's not the best wedge, but we are kind of in a downward contracting wedge now. That's a bullish signal. Typically, it will break to the upside in them. It's a weak wedge, but it's definitely there. So we'll see what happens with that. But I can see impending price reversal and a trend to the upside. And I think if we do break through there, I think it'll probably be a decent breakthrough. And I think we might actually break the 70 cents. Once we break that 70 cents, it's going to move quick. It just needs to get through that at the moment. I think once we get through that, I think we'll be at 80 cents in no time. Because once we broke through 50 cents, it was at 60. It was like, look, you can just see there. Look at the moves. We came through 50 cents, 51 cents down here, and then within no time we're at what, 65 cents. So like, it can do those 20 cent moves pretty quickly. So I really do think if you break through here, we could easily see 80 cents, and there's nothing saying then that we couldn't be pushing up towards $1. And I think if we break through $1, I think we'll be powering on to $1.50 then. And once we're through the $1.50, like, all bets are off, man. We could see some serious movement. Realistically, I'm not going to be putting lots of money into stuff. I'll only put as much in. Exactly. That's that there, dude. Like, is better. You might not have never invested, but you're already thinking the right way. To some people who are like, I'm just going to throw $1,000 at this. And obviously, if you've got money in $1,000, is like somebody else's 50 quid or somebody else's 100 quid. And fair enough, I get that. But like you say, you got the right mentality. Always put in what you're willing to lose. And when it comes to trading, take it as, I've put this in, it's kind of lost now in a sense. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, you come back in a year or two, and it's 100x or 1,000x. They're fucking sweet, man. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. So, I always suggest. This one thing I will suggest. I'll never tell people what to invest in, how to spend the money or anything like that. But I will just say to people, try and get some money invested. It's one of the best things you can do. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a really good way to hold on to your money, hedge against inflation, and I think nowadays, obviously, there's multiple ways you can become financially free now in this world, but I think it is one way that really has, if you are sensible about things and you take the time to learn things and you really put the work in, it is a way, not an easy way, but it is a way that you really can get yourself to that point. You just got to put the work in, do you know what I mean? And it's not one of those things where it's like, like a streamer. If you just put the work in, you'll be a famous. It's like, well, yeah, that's the roll of a dice. This isn't, you know what I mean? If you're sensible, you learn what you're doing, you're on to a winner, man. You really are. The amount of people like I've seen just lately because of Doge popping who throwing fucking shit tons of money at you. And you can tell they're not rich people. And then they don't even know how to sell their assets. And them talking about, like, things. And it's like, dude, have you even been on the app? Like, Christ, man. Like, at least take an hour to read some stuff, you know what I mean? Just some basic stuff before you decide to go with them. Like I say, when I first invested, I knew fuck all, but I had took the time to see what Bitcoin was all about, understand why it held its value, so then I could understand where other assets really don't hold the value. And that was pretty much it at that point, because for me, it was like doing what you're doing. I was just like, right, I'd take $1,000 and I'm going to invest $1,000. And I watched even a few videos on YouTube of people making videos of how would I invest $1,000 now. And I'm never saying follow those people, but it's always good to hear other voices, and then you can come to your own conclusion. And I threw a little bit into Bitcoin, I threw a little bit into Ethereum, I threw a little bit into Litecoin. I did get some XRP, but I got out of that because obviously what's going on with the SEC. And then I got Chainlink also at the same time. Link, I looked into that a little bit. That's why I kind of wanted to get that. Litecoin was just a random purchase because I'd spent majority of the money. There was a little bit of money left. And I said to Rosie, I was like, you know what? You pick a coin, man. Fuck it. Just pick a coin. You know what I mean? Like that. You shouldn't trade like that. But like, I was like, you know what? Stuff it. You pick a coin. And she was like, that one, the Litecoin one. I like that one. And it's turned out to be a winner. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I know more about Litecoin now, so I get it. But yeah. That's how I first purchased it, man. It was kind of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and the rest were kind of just like, oh, I'll go on, then I'll get that. Oh, that's cheap. Let's get a couple of them kind of thing, you know what I mean? And so far, apart from the XRP, I sold out on profit on XRP, but so far, every single one of my initial investments from then has made me, like, massive profits, 300%, 400%, 500%. When I say profits, they're not realised yet because I'm still holding on to a lot of those assets, actually, because a couple of those are my long-term ones, but yeah, man. Was one of the best decisions I made with a bit of money, actually, to be fair. Because, you know, it would have been either gone in the bank and be worth less, or it would have just got spent. And, yeah, that's one of the things I was a bit annoyed yesterday with the checks. I was like, I ain't even bothered about the 150, like, it's 150. But then I was like, I could have put that 150 into crypto, and it could have been 500, and then it ain't just like, oh, it's only 150. Well, not that 150 is a little amount of money. But you know what I'm saying. I'm at that point now where every little bit of money that's wasted, I'm like, that ain't just 50 quid. That could have been 500 quid or $1,000 if I'd have invested it and played it right. So I'm really starting to get that mindset now, which I think is a good mindset to have, though, if I'm going to do this. Don't have the temperament to be glued to the market all the time. Yeah, I feel you. It looks cheap and steady, so might have to put something in long term. Might not mind you, but it might. Well, that's it. That's the best way to think. You know what I mean? If you're playing with something you're willing to lose, then if you lose it, oh yeah, oh well, it's a kick in the teeth. But you ain't going to be thinking about it in 6 months' time or a year, going, fuck, that 50 quid, man, I really could have done with that now. But if that 50 quid you invested 6, 12, 2 years earlier is now worth 500 quid, 1,000 quid, whatever, and you need to pay some rent, oh fuck, sweet. You know what I mean? It's or if it's something that you decided to later on, you've got $1,000 there now that you can play with in other assets. Like it is a sensible way to do things, man. Really is. It's more of a lost money until it's been proven that I've made money rather than I've invested money and I've got the money there, and hopefully exactly, yeah. Like really, there's only really gold and silver, in my opinion, that you can invest in and be like, okay, my money's safe. Bitcoin is the same, I really do think, but at the minute, you know, anything can happen. With the world, you know, we could have a fucking solar flare and all electronics are wiped out, you know what I mean? And we're back to fucking throwing rocks at each other kind of thing, you know what I mean? But gold will still be worth something then, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I am planning to get into gold myself at some point, and silver, but that's something a little bit later down on the line when I've got a little bit of money I can put aside, just get some, and probably get it physically as well, and then later on, property as well, because, you know, brick and mortar's always going to be worth something, isn't it? And like, unless I say there's a total collapse. But even then, well, I suppose it don't matter if there's a total societal collapse. If you own the property, I don't think people in an apocalypse are going to care that you've got the deeds. You know what I mean? You have a bunch of like highwaymen from like Far Cry New Dawn, and you're like, excuse me, this is mine, I bought it back before the collapse, and they're going to be like, all right then, no worries, we'll leave you to it. So, you know, like I say, when it comes to that sort of stuff, gold is ultimately like the best safety net in a way. But Bitcoin does gold better than gold does. So, yeah, unless we have a total societal collapse and the old financial system falls away. To be fair, I think even at that point then, gold will still have its value, but if you're in a freaking post-apocalyptic society, are you really going to be like, oh, shit, me gold? You know what I mean? You're going to be like, fuck, I need to get some food. I need weapons. So, yeah. Hey, Pigs, check out Bullion by Post if you do. Oh, I'll have to have a look, dude. I'll have to have a look. What's going on as well, Reg? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, fella? So yeah, that's like the long-term thing. Like, for me, long-term goals, really, like, obviously make some nice cash, but then move into some property as well. I really do want to invest in a little bit of property. I thought we might come back down and actually test the wait a minute, let's get on the chart, actually. I've got that one for my futures, you know. Test that 42k mark, maybe. I was hoping we would kind of back test it before we went on that insane run, just as a little bit more of a safety net. But it seems to have stabled out at the minute. I think we might see a little bit more downturn. Like I say, we're in price discovery at the minute with Bitcoin, so you can't really be like, well, yeah, looks like we're going to continue to the upside. I think we will ultimately. But in the short term, we might see a little bit of a correction here. Let's have a look on the fib, actually. See where the fib's got us maybe going to. See if we're actually respecting the fib. Fucking dog, man. Let's have a look on the daily, actually. Let's do it on the daily. And we'll go in. Elsie, shut up. Yeah, the dog barking. I loves going into the garden now and showing the birds who's boss. So we fell a bit short of this fib line, like, but you know, kind of pushed up towards it. So I think we just petered out of a little bit of steam there. Obviously, that was mass buying pressure from the news that happened. The news and a bunch of people probably jumping on a little bit of FOMO out there. This was a real good run though. But like I say, we'll have to see what happens over the next hour or two, man. We could see a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of sideways movement for a little bit, and then another push to the upside, which is what I prefer. I'd prefer to have a little bit of consolidation and then like a nice, natural, steady increase, and it'd be nice, rather than the continuation of this, because these sort of moves can't last long, and the dump will be quite heavy off it then. And my worry is if we go on too much of a parabolic run and we do like this sort of thing, and we really do get buyer exhaustion, and when we do dump and we come down really hard, my fear is that if we come down hard enough, we scare the bulls out the market and the bears will start to take over, and we might start to see the end of the bull run. Because obviously I do want altcoins to really take off at the minute, but I'd rather Bitcoin get a little bit more of a run before we do see the market dominance totally fall away. But yeah, I still think we've got a little bit to go, man. I do think we'll be at least till summer. I'm thinking with a bull run, maybe October-ish. Some people saying what's it as well. November, December. Hey, what's going on, Simply? We're going to gold and silver to me. See if you like to want a gradual profit, a proper long term. If you want to make big short term, yeah, definitely. Like gold is like, you know, it's more just a hedge against inflation. It's more just like, I've got $1 billion. I want that to be $1 billion in 10 years' time, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where Bitcoin's like that, but then, oh, I've got $2 billion now or more. You know, like Tesla put in 1.5 billion and within a month made 150 million plus, I think, or something like that. I think it was somewhere around that they made more profit in a month off Bitcoin than they did in 14 years of Tesla. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. Sell my Doge. I sold my Doge, dude. I got in on the initial pump. I got in down here. I got out round about here on that pump. And I got back in round about here. Like I was going to just sit on the sidelines. But then I started to see that we was really getting this bullish uptrend that was looking really strong. So I got in back in around about 5.5 cents. And I got out pretty much right at the peak. I got out at 8.2. And I'm at that point now where I'm like, yeah, I'm staying away. I think even if we do go on a run to the upside, like it says, I do think maximum we can reach is like 14, 15 cents max. And that's a real stretch, I think. But I think even if we do go on that run, unless it's looking really good and I can catch it early, I might grab a little bit. But it's too risky to even think about getting back in there. Like people who are buying here, like, yeah, I think you're crazy in my opinion. I wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't do it. Is any free coins on giveaways on their picks? What do you mean? On Binance? I don't know, actually. I don't know if they do any. I know I think Coinbase still do sort of things, don't they? Where, like, if you sit through their little course, they give you, like, like 10, 20 bucks in one coin. I think altogether, I think you can get 100 quid's worth of whatchamacallit, different coins. Sent you a picture of the lion rampant flag in Discord. Okay, let me have a look. Let me have a look. Oh, that's fire, that is, dude. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I'll just clock that fucking Nicholas Sturgeon picture. Brilliant. Yeah, do that. I ain't really looked into any of that with Binance, really, to be fair. But yeah, at the minute, kind of like say, 50-50 really what happens here. Like, it's always the case anyway. Well, not 50-50, but you know what I mean. You can never be 100, but I think we might see a little bit of downturn, if I'm honest, in the short term. Or, like I say, this sideways consolidation before we continue to see some uptrend. I still think we're going to be at 50k in the next day or two. I really do, if not by the end of the week. But I think we might see a little bit of consolidation before we do that. And that's good. Like I say, it's a bit more healthy. Those sort of parabolic moves cannot be sustained. And if we want the market to continue being stronger over the next couple of weeks and months, and the bull run to stay as long as possible, we want Bitcoin to be healthy on the way up, don't we? So yeah, Litecoin still sitting around about 165, still in this ascending triangle. I think if we can get the breakout here, we could easily see $200 on Litecoin. I really do believe that. That's if Bitcoin continues to move in a good way, because obviously Litecoin's a fork of Bitcoin. It pretty much follows its big brother. That's kind of what Litecoin, really quite a lot more than any other coin really, apart from Ethereum. They really do mirror Bitcoin. Litecoin just does it a lot less explosively than Ethereum. But like I say, once we start getting to the point where Bitcoin dominance has weakened over the last month or two, which typically does show that we're coming to alt season, and that is typically what shows, you know, the twilight of the bull run. But I think all this stuff with Elon's probably put that back a little bit, which I hope that's the case, because I do still think we could do a 60+K Bitcoin. And there's people who know a lot more than me that's still really adamant that we're going to see 100k Bitcoin this run. I'm still kind of a little bit on that. Like, I don't know. I think maybe that's a little bit of an overestimate this time. But we'll see. I guess we will. We'll really see. Nah, you're right there. I can't remember what freaking... well, it hedge against inflation has always worked when you have this, like... We're probably going to have a real boom in the mini. Gold and silver is probably going to do well over the coming months as well, because Biden's about to dump $2 trillion into the US economy, isn't he? Which, you know, what we're looking at, negative interest rates on the Bank of England could be coming in. That is a perfect storm for Bitcoin to really continue to rally. So there's, like I say, when I'm talking about the consolidation going on in Bitcoin here, there's no reason that, like I say, we consolidate for another day or two and then we really start to see $1,000 days on Bitcoin going up 1,000 at a time, and then, you know, within a week you're up multiple. Because don't forget, we did $8,000 in a day yesterday, and when Bitcoin likes to move, it really likes to move. Get some Theta. I've been on the fence with Theta for a while, man. Like, I'm trying to focus on my bags a little bit at the minute. Like, my main bags are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Rosie, hello, welcome to the stream as well. And my main alts really are ADA, DOT, Link, and Litecoin at the moment. I'm really super bullish on ADA. Like, every chance I get, I'm trying to get back in on ADA. I've been dollar cost averaging all the way up from, like, I think it was around about 20 cents, man. I think it was. I know what my purchase was after my second buying. I just can't remember my first buying. Hey, Jamie, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. How's it going, fella? It's freezing. You're currently on your walk. You gone for a walk in it, have you? I'd say the snow has really slowed down a bit now. It's proper like that snow globe snowing it, the big snowflakes like. But what's to anybody who is invested, obviously, of course. What's your favorite assets like? What's the thing you're most bullish on at the minute? Like, you know what I mean? What's your go-to kind of thing? A lot of people have been talking about this Filecoin, man. I wish I'd have got in a little bit earlier on this, because this seems to have a lot of developers on it at the moment. A lot of stuff going on product wise. It still looks really good. That does actually. That looks like that's a prime to really blow, maybe. Yeah, man. I think that's prime to fucking. It's had a good bit of upturn there, but like, what sort of moves did we have here? 48%. That looks really good. That does actually. Yeah, look, we're continuing higher highs, higher lows. Apart from this little dip here. Yeah, it just look nice. That does. Might have to grab myself some Filecoin, you know. If this pops, this could easily, I think, could see what, $60. It could double quite quick. This could, I think. I hear people talking about this a lot, but this sale came in at and then it kind of just went into price discovery for a bit. We hit the bottom here. And then we've kind of just been going along nicely for a while. Yeah, man. This does really look quite good, actually. I think I might have to cop a little bit of that in a bit, actually. Filecoin looking all right there. Looking all right. What's volume's been shooting them. I think, yeah, we're going to see continuation to the upside there. I think we could possibly hit $40 quite quick on a Filecoin, actually. Had a reduction in buying pressure. MACD's almost about to cross over. Still finding back. So we could see a little bit of a dip in the short term. There is a bit of bearish divergence on the RSI as well. We are overbought currently, so now might not be the best time to get in this for me personally. I'm probably going to see what happens. See what happens throughout the day here, because we do have bearish divergence on the hour. It's not on the 4 hourly though, so I think if we do have a little bit of a correction here, it's only going to be short term and it's not going to be too steep. Yeah, we've got bearish divergence on the 15-minute and the hour, so I think we're probably going to see impending reversal here for just a little bit. Probably going to come down. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to come down to really, because support-wise, there's not really much to go off apart from these local support. So we could maybe see $29, $30. And then I think we'll probably see a bit of a reversal then. Like I say, because we've got the bearish divergence on the hourly and on the 15-minute, but 4 hour still looking quite bullish. The daily's looking fire as well. The daily's looking fucking really nice, actually. So yeah, I think we're probably going to see a little bit of a correction there, but probably quite short term, actually. So I'm going to keep my eye on that, actually. I think I might have to snap a little bit of Filecoin. It looks nice. My Twitch subscription renewed yesterday. Not too bad as you. Hey, nice one, dude. Appreciate that, man. I'm hoping to have some gaming streams back either today or tomorrow. I don't know, man. I'm really bullish on DOT, man. I really think we could possibly see an $100 DOT this run. But for me, DOT's just more of a long-term one, if I'm honest. And ETH 2.0, we really need that shit quick, man. We need that scalability, man. And the gas fees at the minute on ETH are choking the shit out of you. But scalability is going to be a real thing for Ethereum in the future. It's already getting choked to fuck. But yeah, VeChain's looking all right as well. That's been a bit of an underperformer for me for a while, but I got in nice and early on VeChain, so there's not too much to worry about. But it does look promising. It does look like it's really maybe going to go on a bit of a run, actually. We are going to start to see some altcoins. We've already seen some altcoins do, but we are going to start to see some altcoins doing 10x's, possibly 20x's, maybe even more, man. When altcoins start moving, you know, Bitcoin moves in big numbers because obviously it's a massive asset now. But altcoins, when they start moving, man, they fucking move. So yeah, still like I say, Doge at the minute. There's still bearish divergence going on there. But like I say, at the minute you can only, the indicators can only take so far with Doge at the moment, just because of the way it's being pumped. Plus, it's a super volatile coin as well. But it has respected TA to a degree, especially on this upturn. Because, like, obviously, something like says, these spikes, Elon. I think this bit was Elon here, maybe at the start. But this was kind of a bit of a natural run. This was a natural run. This dump was happening, then Elon came in to save it. So, like, you know, it's like... You could reckon some TA on Doge and be like, right, I think we're going to be here. I think the next move might be this. And then Elon tweets and he totally freaking, what's it? Yeah, ETH fees are ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. As I say, it's choking that along with the scalability at the minute, it's choking Ethereum. But like I said, I think I'm hoping ETH 2.0 goes off without a hitch. Because if he doesn't, then ETH's going to be in trouble. And that's, like I say, if that does happen, then I do think things like ADA and DOT are going to be something that maybe takes over. But ETH need to really get that sorted out. But at the moment, it's the big daddy in the especially for the DeFi space anyway, because pretty much everything DeFi is on Ethereum, isn't it? But you know, I think we need to wait and see. There's apparently though, there's a lot of stakeholders and miners who have actually gone over to the 2.0 networks. So that's a positive sign. So yeah. You got rid of all your ETH, got £10 left. Yeah, I'm still holding on to my ETH. I'm hoping we can maybe see 4 to 6k this run. I've seen people talk 27k, 100k. That's insane. And even 20k to me is insane. I think we could maybe see between a 4 to 6k ETH. I really do think that could happen this run. But I'm already like, I don't know, I'm like 600% upon Ethereum. So like, I'm happy chappy at the minute with my ETH. Flipping 4G, so intermittent. You need to sort that out, Rosie, man. It seems like your 4G on your phone is ass. Absolutely ass. Especially when you're at work. It doesn't seem too bad when you're, you know, when we're out and about and you're at home. If you're into on the Wi-Fi, like. If ever I go out into the garden, I'm using the phone like that. It seems fine. So I don't know if it's the weather maybe a little bit. But it's not that bad, is it, anyway? It's like it's only a little bit of light snow coming down now. You want a snow day? Should have called in sick today, man. Should have called in sick. So I'm really curious to see what happens next, like, because at the minute you've got the crazy Doge people out who are saying that Doge is the future. It's the most valuable currency out there, and it's just like, all right, bro. Okay, bro. It's never going back down below 6 cents. Like, okay, bro. Maybe we'll see a new floor for Doge, and it won't be down below the penny. You know what I mean? Maybe we could see a penny, 2 cent Doge in the future and its lows. But you can't put anything past Doge. Like I say, I wouldn't rule out the fact that we see more of an uptrend off Doge. But inevitably, we're coming down, and we're coming down hard, and we're coming down fast. And that's why I keep saying to people, keep your eye on Doge. If you haven't took profits yet, guys, get ready to, because, and make sure you're scalping profits as well, because when Doge comes down, if it comes down hard, for a lot of people, it's going to come down that fast that you're going to struggle to fucking keep up with it, you know what I mean? You're going to end up having to do market sells and, you know, pay more fees and stuff. I've seen it happen before. People try and set a limit to be like, do you know what? Oh, it's starting to dump. Let me set a limit of 7 cents. Oh, it's at 6.5. Oh, actually, let me go for a 6 cents limit. Oh, it's at 5. Next thing they know, the fucker's at 2 cents, and they're like, shit, I didn't even sell, bro. So just be careful, man. If I was people, guys, have a limit set for it, man. Have a sell limit set. Just you know, it's all good being in the movement. Hold the line, hold the Doge to the moon, but just don't be that dude left holding the bag back down here, and everybody else has took profit. Always take profit on these sort of assets. Get in, take your profit, get out. You know, get in low, get out high. Obviously, that's sensible. That's the basics of trading. But with these sort of assets, you know, other assets, like say, with me with Ethereum and Bitcoin, we have a dip. I'm still holding because, you know, I'm in it for the long run. These sort of assets are not. I know people want to pretend that Doge is a long-term hodl asset. It's really not. You want to get in before the pumps, get out on the hype, and then once Doge has finished doing its cycle this year, get back in when it's down here. Just buy a little bit of Doge, hold on to it, wait for the next pump, and get the fuck out as quick as you can. That's the best way to trade things like Doge. It is a pump and dump. And people get offended when you say that about Doge. Like, people have really got a little bit nutty over Doge. Like, don't get me wrong. I love memes. I love the movement. It's all good. It's good that the community's come together. It's jokes. It is. It's funny. It's been fun. I've made profit off it. I made a nice little bit of profit off it. But don't emotionally trade, guys. Don't ever emotionally trade to an asset. Don't feel loyalty to an asset. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I love Ethereum and Bitcoin. They're money makers. But at the same time, I wouldn't stick to a losing asset because I'm in my head. I'm like, I've got the hype and the hope, and I believe on trading will get you wrecked, man. Always let the markets tell you what's happening. And let the trend be your friend. You know what I mean? You've only got to look over the years to see how Doge has worked. And, you know, the trend is a better tell than you saying, nah, it's different this time. It's different this time. If it's done it before, it's more than likely going to do it again. It's just it's a little bit bigger this time. People are holding a little bit. So you know, the line is being held, but it is going to collapse, man. It is going to collapse. 30th lock-in for ETH 2.0. It's locked in for a few months. What, you've locked in a bit of ETH for ETH 2.0, have you? Yeah, well, Litecoin's a fork of Bitcoin and Dogecoin's a fork of Litecoin. So, like, it has... That's why I was trying to explain to some people in the stream the other day. They were just like, they were mental cultists, like, trying to say that there's no difference in any cryptos. And they were trying to say, why does Bitcoin have value and Doge doesn't then? And it's like, well... Because all the things that give Bitcoin value are lost in Doge, you know what I mean? It's like, you just look at the market cap, dude. Look at the liquidity that's in there now. Look at the printing every year. The fact that you can get 10 Doge, you can mine 10,000 Doge for every block, I think it is, at a minute a block, which allows fast transactions at the moment. But, you know, apart from as a and Doge can be used in that. There is use cases for it. But it's, you know, that's all it's good for, really, man. But like I say, it has shocked me how much it's held on. I really did think after this dump, I thought we were going all the way back down sub 2 cents, and it was probably going to stay there. Maybe have a little second wave and come back up to around about the 5 cent mark and then totally dump. But, you know, like I said, this is where I marked this down. Once I marked this down, I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, you know what I mean? And then once we got to it, I was like, yo, dude, this is looking hella bullish. And that's when I was like, fuck it, I'm getting back in. I'm getting back in, man. So I made a nice little... But basically what I got in there, which was still risky, like I say, it looked bullish, but it's still risky. But it was profit. I took a percentage of the profit off here, and I put it back in, and I scalped the profit there. So I did well on Doge this time. Didn't get out to the maximum higher. I got out to around about 66 something, I think. I can't remember exactly what it was. Just below 7. But this time I got in at around about 5... 5.4, 5.5, and I got out just over 8 as well. So, you know, I managed to make it out at the peak. As well, guys, don't ever chase peaks. You know what I'm saying? You want to get in low, get out high, but don't let FOMO push you into being like, no, I'll just hold on a bit more. I'll just hold on a bit more. I'll just hold on a bit more. You know, it's better to get out at 80% of the peak than get out at 70 because you've let it go over and dump back down. You know what I mean? Always take profits on the way up as well. Just be sensible when you're trading, man, and you'll be on to a winner. Like I say, we're in a bull market. There should be no reason why you're losing money right now. If you're losing money right now, then you're doing something very wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're either shorting the market in a bull run, which can be done, but you need to make sure you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I've shorted a few assets, but I've shorted them on massive confirmation, and I've even looked at what some other people are doing and been like, okay, right, I feel a bit more confident now to do this. And they've been on assets as well that are not as well performing. You know, if you're shorting Bitcoin in a bull market, you know what I mean? You really are. You know, you're kind of asking for trouble, in my opinion. You just don't do that. Like it's on an asset that continually grows up in a bull market as well. When it's in making parabolic moves, if you're shorting things like Bitcoin, you're fucking mental. You really are. And in a sense, there's almost part of me that thinks you kind of deserve it because it's just stupid. You know, it's like lunging in a bear market, like, or lunging after a peak and you're dumping and being like, nah, I'm going to throw a lung in now. Don't do it. That's when you want to be shorting. You know what I mean? If you really want to short an asset, because I did it with XRP the other day, I got in a nice cheeky long, I got it perfect as well, got out just at the right time, and I shorted a little bit as well. This is when you want to short. Wait for this confirmation here, short it all the way down to here, man. Get out here, you know what I mean? Always wait for confirmation as well, guys. A lot of people, like I say, they try and chase the top. You know what I mean? In a situation like, say you've shorted this, you're coming back down. Do you really want to get out here? You can do. There's nothing wrong with that. But you could see some more continuation to the downside. So wait for that confirmation. Yeah, you might lose out on a percentage of profit, but it's always better to be safe. You know, better to have that bit of confirmation and take a little bit less cash, and it be a bit more likely that you're going to actually take that profit as well. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it anyway. I'd rather do it like that rather than being like, fuck it, I'm selling here, and then it continues down, like, and like I say, don't let those extra bits be an issue. But in a situation like that, it's probably the best move in my opinion. ADA is still looking good, man. It's looking to try and pop back up to 68 cents. Like I say, we're in this it's a bit of a weak downward wedge, but it's there. So we'll see what happens here. And it is kind of respecting the TA there as well. We'll see if we bumble along here a little bit and then break to the upside. And I think we really could see 70 cents again. And then hopefully we break 70 cents then. I'm hoping this continues down a little bit. I'm thinking maybe round about to 66 cents. If it does, I'll probably grab a little bit more ADA if I'm honest. And then see what happens. Because I do genuinely think we're going to hit $1. And then I think if we could break the $1.50, because I think that was its previous all-time high, I believe. And that's when ADA really had nothing going for it. It hit $1.50. It's got a lot more promise now. So I think we could, after that, I wouldn't be surprised if we could see $1.75, $2. It's all speculation. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's still looking good. It's still looking very good. I think at the end of the bull run, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit $1.50 to $2 possibly. But that's like not right. I think in the shorter term, I really think we could see a $1. But you know what, we're talking now. It's like the 9th now. There's a chance that we could be in this downward wedge for the rest of the day, maybe even into the early hours. We'll see. And then a bit of an uptrend. Maybe tomorrow at some point. We might break out tomorrow at some point. But the way ADA's been moving in the minute, man, like, you really can't put, like, look, fucking hell, when it hit, what was it? We hit 50 cents, and then within no time, we're at 65 cents. It's like, it really does have the power to do these 15, 20 cent moves in what? A day, just under 2 days, you know what I mean? That's no joke, man. ADA's really been on a tear just lately. Really been on a tear. But like I say, I'm going to hold on to it, man. I'll probably scalp a bit of profit once we get to our highs throughout the bull run. And then I'll probably just sack up on some more bags once we get back down to our bottom. And then prep for the next... then if we have any nice spikes in the bear market. But really, I'm prepping for 2024, really. Yeah, you think 84 by the end of the month, yeah? All right, no worries, Jambo. I'll catch you in a bit, buddy. Good luck on the lessons, mate. Hoping rest afternoon goes quick. I'm sure it will, but maybe it's nearly 10 to 2 now, isn't it? You know what I mean? You've only got 3 hours left. 3 hours of work left. This is looking a bit of a mess now, man. Now I've got the fib fan and the fib fib retracement. But yeah, like I know we didn't hit this fib line, but we kind of got close to it. Like I think we had quite a bit of selling pressure there as well. Plus we was after a parabolic move, so it made sense that we kind of run out of steam there, really. But I think we could see a little bit more downturn. But I'm thinking maybe we might consolidate for a little bit for a day or two, possibly, and then maybe we'll see some more moves. To the upside towards the end of the week, possibly. But Ethereum's looking good. I think Ethereum 1820 at one point. Damn, I missed that. I heard somebody talking about that earlier, but I hadn't got a chance to see. So Ethereum went on a tear in the early hours then. Where did this peak at? 9 o'clock this morning, we hit over 1,800, guys, which getting closer and closer to that 2K, man. You know what I mean? Closer and closer. So 2K is really, really on the books now for Ethereum, in my opinion. Like I say, as long as Bitcoin doesn't do anything drastic in terms of dumping, I think we're on for a good move with Ethereum. Let's go from wick to wick with this. That's going to be a strong area of resistance, I think, isn't it, really? It is kind of in that resistance area now, isn't it? I think if we can break out of here, we might... we might see some good movement there. But like I said, I think this is... we topped out here, we had a high here, didn't we? Came back down, tried it again. Struggle around this area. We're kind of in that area at the moment, so this is like a struggle bus area at the moment for ETH. What price we see at the minute? 1738. Let's have a look what's on the books. Got some quite big sells around 1740. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of selling pressure around there. But I think we'll see continuation to the upside there in the short term. I really do. I think by the end of the day, we'll come the evening. I think we'll start to see another breakout, and possibly by the early hours of the morning, we might see $1,880, $1,900 on Ethereum. I think let's get ourselves a line in there so we can mark it down and say that's where I think we're going to get to. Let's see early hours of the morning. Say like what between. It's not really a good idea to estimate a timeline, but I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. All right, I'm doing it. Let's see. Let's say like around about between 3 to 5 a.m. Let's just put it around there. So I think we might see around about $1,900 there. We'll see. It's never really a good idea to put times on because you can't really estimate that. Really, you can only really estimate the trend. But fuck it, I'm doing it. How's everybody doing anyway, though, guys? How is everybody doing? It's good to see ya. Like I say, we still do have a little bit of bearishness on the hourly on ADA. So I do think we might see, like that says, that continuation along the descending wedge, and then possibly see a breakout. It might come earlier because, like I say, when ADA snaps, it really does have a little jump, doesn't it? So we'll see what happens there. But like I say, I think we're going to continuation to the downside inside the wedge and then maybe breakout. But ETH's still looking good, man. ETH is still looking good. We attempted to continue on that high. We got a little bit of rejection around at 1820. So obviously that's going to be another area around here. This is going to be heavy resistance, heavy psychological resistance as well. There's going to probably be a lot of sells coming around there. And we saw that around about the 1740 plus anyway. There's a lot of sell orders. So this entire area is going to be a push for Ethereum to break through, but I think once we get through here, we probably will see a serious snap then, because this is a heavy level of resistance, man. So yeah, like I say, Doge still doing its thing, man. It's just on the cards. It's like a 50-50 now. Like I say, we could see a little bit more of a uptrend, possibly. You know, it's prime that it could still do it. We keep knocking on this 8-cent door. These 8.1 cent doors. So there's no reason why we wouldn't see a little bit of an upturn. But like I say, as the days go by, man, that crash is getting closer and closer. It just depends on how alt season runs as well, really. Hey, what's going on, Dan? How's it going, buddy? I'm good. Had a group project to work on this morning. Oh, shit, man. Hopefully you do well with that then, my dude. I'm the same, bro, man. My sleep pattern's just been terrible lately. Like, being in a bull run, man, and everything that's going on. It's just like... it's sleep? I can't sleep. I'm good, dude. I can't really moan. Apart from that, my missus broke my chair because she likes sitting on my bloody lap, and it's not built for that. So, like, the main core bit now is dropped down lower than the actual wheels. I'm rocking. So I ordered a new chair yesterday. I'm gonna get a new base for this as well. Fix that, and Rosie can have this chair. Or I'll keep this chair and she can have the new one. And then she can't moan then when she comes to chill in my room, can you, Rosie, that you got the uncomfortable chair because you'll have another one. So, yeah. But like I say, Link as well, still continuation to the upside. Me lines just disappeared. Binance, stop robbing me lines, man. You keep robbing me lines, you really do. Like I say, Link's been a little bit boring, man. I'm telling you, man, Link's becoming a stable coin. It's not, but yeah, it does look like it's getting primed to maybe have a nice snap, if I'm honest. I think if we break out of here, I really do think we could see $30 quite quick, and then, you know, it's anybody's guess. Like I say, there's still a lot of people saying they reckon we could see $100 Link this run. I don't know. I think it's struggled a lot, really. I would have expected a little bit more from it already, to be fair, considering the movement we've had since all of this has got in. But like, I don't really truly think we're fully into alt season. We're slowly getting in there, aren't we? But I don't really think it's fully kicked in. And like I say, with Tesla investing in Bitcoin, I think that's held it back a little bit because like the Bitcoin dominance is going to continue probably on for a little bit more now because there's going to be a lot of news about it now. And with Tesla doing what they've done, it might spur some other big companies come on. There's people talking about rumours of Apple investing. If Apple invests as well, man, that's going to be insane because Tesla and Apple are going to, like, obviously, my opinion, Bitcoin's already legitimised, but I'm talking in the eyes of big tech, big corporations, the mainstream media. I don't think people on the mainstream media can still keep going, but this Bitcoin, what is it? It's not even real. You know, these news anchors, if Apple and Tesla and, you know, some of these other big tech companies are putting money into it, they're going to be like, wait a minute, these guys are not stupid. They're not going to be, like, rash with their assets. So, you know what I mean? And I think if that happens, man, we could see an insane year. You got to think, guys, we're still only in February as well at the minute. Right, dude, it really is, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'll give it, man. Doge has really surprised me. It really has surprised me. I didn't expect it to hold this. But like I say, though, I didn't expect it to come back on this bullish uptrend. I thought after this, we might see a peak of around about 5 cents again and then a dump. But like I say, after this. But, you know, I think this is the first Elon tweet, yeah. Elon tweet. So it did really help. There was multiple times when we could have maybe seen a bit of a dump out, but that constant trending aspect kept pushing more and more buyers in. So, like, you know, we've had a steady amount of buyers. And again, over this period, we did really have an uptake in the volume. But I do think this prior bit of volume now and the people who are holding from this prior bit of volume are really propping this up now. I think the time will tell now over the next few days with if we get a lack of Elon tweets, because he didn't mention it yesterday, did he? He was just tweeting about his SpaceX and Starlink stuff. So, you know, well, I think we'll see today and the next 2 days if he doesn't tweet about it, you know, or he waits for a dump. He could be doing that. I don't know his logic, you know what I'm saying? I really don't understand his logic. Maybe he's going to wait for a dump and try and save it, but I think at some point he'd get, like, he'd have the opinion that, is this just a zombie asset? You know, like, I know it's a pump and dump, but, you know, he's going to get to that point, like, you know, I'm really just holding this up at the minute in time. I should just probably let it die, because more and more people are going to end up losing money if you drag it out for much longer. All right, Rosie, I'll see you at 5. Appreciate you stopping by, babe. Have a good afternoon at work as well. So yeah, like, Doge, like, it's been fun, like I say. People, like, dude, I think I might have got banned from King's chat yesterday, because I couldn't hold it in anymore, man. I had to let it go. You know, they're just super cultish. The chat is super cultish. They've been totally brainwashed by them, like, you know what I mean? And I was just trying my best to be like, guys, look, trust me, man. Like, I'm not hating. Like, I just want you to be careful, like, and, you know, what Doge done to you? What are you so salty about Doge? Oh, you sold your Doge. You're sad you've lost it. It's like, dude, I sold it higher than what it is now. Maybe it'll go a bit higher. But I know another trade will come along. I ain't going to be like, oh my God, I lost out on the 2 cents. I lost out on 20%, bro. Fuck. So I think I did get banned from there yesterday, because in the end because that the code breaker was talking, and he was just he talks more shit than anybody, I think. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I think that Steven, dude, he's chill. I think he's chill, man. I really do. I think he's just kind of got swept up in the whole thing, and he's a little bit swayed easily, like it says when he was talking about the psyop stuff and all that. But that other dude who comes up with it, because he just chats pure shit. Like, King doesn't know what he's on about. He doesn't. But I think he tries to stay away a little bit from absolutes, if I'm honest. I do think that, like, even though he talks shit and he agrees and agrees with statements that are just blatantly false. But that dude, he just says just so many things that are just, dude, that's just absolutely not fucking true, bro. You know what I mean? That's absolutely not true. And like I was saying in the chat, I was like, Doge doesn't have a cap, and there's like, it does, he's got a cap, and I was like, it doesn't. $5 billion goes into the market every year. Well, yeah, it's got an annual cap though, and I'm like, what? It has got an annual cap, but it's not got a cap. So shut the fuck up. Oh, definitely, I agree. Like, I do, and that's my worry for him, because I think he's just a little bit ignorant on the whole situation. When I listen to him, sometimes I'm like, I think he does seem like he's a good person. I think he's just got swept up and he's hanging around with people who don't really have the best intentions. You know what I mean? Because I don't care what your intentions are, even if you believe them. Like, say I was adamant 1,000,000% that Doge is going to dump today. I wouldn't say that as fact because it's not fact. Do you know what I mean? I believe Doge is going to dump, but like I say, Doge could still see some more upturn. So I would never stand there and say that. But you know, when the stuff he says as if it's an absolute fact, it's like, bro, you are peddling so much misinformation to these people, and they're eating it up as well. And it's scary, man. I'm surprised. I get surprised sometimes, which I shouldn't, that there's people out there like that are so gullible. You know, that don't listen to the stuff and be like, wait a minute. You know, start putting two and two together. Yeah, I agree. I think we'll see less than a cent at the end of it all, if I'm honest. So I asked what would happen if Dogecoin and the market cap. Their answers, we don't really know what. Right, dude. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, it's just unbelievable, man. I really should make a video on them because, like, they need to be exposed. Not in a nasty sense that, oh, I want to go after them because I feel you know, I've got a vindictive thing with them, but it's a misinformation, man. Because I've seen it over the last few days, obviously. But yesterday, when I was trying to talk to people, like, they have really got them into this really bad way of thinking, and people genuinely think they know what they're talking about as well. Like, somebody asked him a question yesterday, and like his answer to Doge was like, I can't remember if they asked where it was going to go or what was happening, and his answer was sort of, it's just really good. We're holding this thing. It's excellent. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's really good. And that was it. And it's just like, that was your technical analysis for the chat, was he? You know. Nice, dude. Nice. And then, like, I think he was streaming yesterday or today, and the first bit of real technical analysis I've seen from him, it was a post off Twitter, and he even admitted it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what? I get it, fair enough, at least you've admitted it, but like, if you're having to take other people's technical analysis and say this is what's going to happen, you know, then are you really in the right place to be telling people what they think, like? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm totally one of them. Like I say, I know very little compared to many people, and I'm always willing to, right, okay, look at my own technical analysis here. This is what I think, and I'm assuming and predicting is going to happen. But then I'll be like, do you know what? Let's go and find some of the other dudes who know more than me. Says I might see a pattern in somewhere where I'm like, okay, I'm seeing this pattern, and then I'll miss something on a different time zone where, oh shit, there's a cup and handle. Oh shit, there's a double top. Oh shit, we got a nice W pattern. You know what I mean, kind of thing. But oh man, unbelievable. Those guys still actually surprise me how ridiculous they are. I got out of my Bitcoin long as well. Oh, we're on Cardano now. I did put a long in on Bitcoin at around about 44k, and I got out just under 47. It was only a long one. It was just a fuck around trade really. But I'm just waiting to see what happens now with Bitcoin, and I'm probably going to go in another long if I'm honest. See what happens. Like I say, I think we're going to have a little bit of a movement, a little bit of a consolidation in this range for a little bit first before we decide what we're doing. Whether we come back down a little bit and find some support at 42, or we decide to continue up. I think the more likelihood is that we're going to continue up. Well, I wouldn't put it past it. Another drop back down, find some real support around here, because we did go I think we did $8,000 in a day. You know, that was quite parabolic, man. Like, quite parabolic. I suppose in the grand scheme of things, it's not that crazy, actually. You know, but I think maybe a little bit of consolidation would make sense here, and a continuation to the upside to push 60k, possibly. I really do think we're probably going to hit 60k in this run. Anything past that, I don't know. Like I say, a lot of people are talking 100k, 300k. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think that might be for the next run, where we may be more. But I think, personally, I think anywhere between 50 to 80k, I think this run, in my opinion. I think that'll probably be our top. Because, like, we've already started to get the Bitcoin dominance was waning. I think it's come back a little bit now with the Elon stuff. And like I say, if any other companies do step in the foreseeable future, it'll continue a little bit longer. But once the Bitcoin dominance starts to wane, alt season really kicks in, and that's usually a signal that the bull run is really, at its zenith, and it's a good idea to really start getting some exit strategies set up, unless you're long-term hodling, of course. But, you want to take some profit. You want to take some profit because you never know what can happen. Even if you're long-term hodling something, guys, take a little bit of profit. I won't be taking profit off my Bitcoin. I'll be taking profit off my ETH when I feel that I'm maxed out, and then I'll buy more when it comes back down, because I do think ETH will have a big correction. I don't think Bitcoin will have as big because of the big money that's in it. Probably may still see a 50% now, but if we get to 60k, or 80k, or the crazy numbers that people I'm talking about, if we have a 50% recorrection after this bull run, we're still talking a 30 grand. If we get to 60k and we have a 50% recorrection, we're still at 30 grand. Go back a month or two, guys. We was looking at 30 grand being like, yes, you know what I mean? And the idea that after the bull run, we're going to correct to 30 grand, that to me is fucking nice. But like I say, it all depends where we top out at, man. I think it probably will be around about a 50% correction on Bitcoin, if I'm honest. I think last time, Ethereum had was it like 90% Ethereum came back down? I think it might be a little bit less than that on Ethereum this time, but it just depends. Because that institutional money really hasn't come into Ethereum yet, so it hasn't got that. Because the thing with institutions, they're going to hold probably a lot longer than your retail. They're like... I don't know. I don't know exactly what their way of thinking. Maybe they'll be smart and they'll sell at the high and they know the cycle and they'll come back into Bitcoin. Maybe they'll just hold. Companies typically, these big companies and hedge funds, they'll usually hold an asset for 5 to 10 years plus, won't they? It's more of a long term. Like I say, it's not so much a thing for making money. It's more a hedge against inflation, really. And when you're hedging against inflation, that's something that typically gets left there for multiple years. So I'd be curious to see. I am actually really curious to see what happens after the bull run, whether we see a bit of a break to the cycle in terms of the big dumps after. We're still going back down, but I'm really curious to see what the percentage-wise is when we make our way back down. Coins for use case is the key. Coins for transfer coins equals pump and dump. Well, yeah, that's exactly like I say. That's all Doge really has going for it, doesn't it? Really, it can be used as transactions. You know what I mean? And, like, it's a shame what's going on with XRP, because, like, XRP was great for that. That's why, like, big money's still flowing through XRP, because I think you can transfer, like, $50 million via XRP, and I think it ends up costing you, like, less than $1, doesn't it? Which, that's insane. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think it just depends on how long this Bitcoin dominance tends to wane off, man. The thing is, well, like I say, we've had this parabolic move. It's not necessarily been natural, though. So, and the thing is, as well, you got to take into account, typically, when you're on a bull run, the last bit of the bull run really does become super parabolic, and you have those really quick, sharp, fast moves where it pretty much almost becomes vertical, and that's when the top hits and you come back down. So, look at it on the daily. I don't think we're quite there yet, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think, like I say, we're probably going to have a bit of a correction a little bit here, and then I think continuation up. I think 60k is a good place to maybe hedge my bets really on that, but I wouldn't put it past Bitcoin going higher than that. You know what I mean? Like I say, we're at all-time highs now. Once we broke 20k last time, we were at 30k, we were at 40k in no time. So the fact that we've broke 40k now, we could be at 50, 60, 80k in no time. It's all just dependent, really. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. But remember, freaking Bitcoin liquidity is at an incredibly low amount at the moment. And lots of, you've only just got to look at Whale Alert at the minute. Lots and lots of Bitcoin coming off exchanges into cold wallets. Where, like, obviously in this consolidation period we've had for a little bit, we've obviously had the F2 pools dumping on us a little bit as well. Which, like I say, Bitcoin's really held out well in this situation. We had the big F2 pool dumps. I think that the fact of Elon coming back in did maybe save us, because we was in a bearish downtrend. We really was in a bearish downtrend. I think we would have broke out of it personally, because we were in this bearish downtrend and this descending triangle, but we did bottom out and we did start to come back up prior to the tweet. So I think we might have actually maybe broke out without that. But that Elon tweet did send us right back up. I know we came back down, but it gave us that ability to back test the support, didn't it, on the descending triangle, and then we continued to the upside, and then obviously the rest is history. The rest is history, boys and girls. Like I said, I do think Doge is probably going to do a little bit of a sideways trending a little bit within this space here. This triangle played out perfectly. I said it. I got this marked in, and I knew that once we get around this area, Doge would really start to hit resistance. 1, psychological levels from the previous high. 2, from the previous high, people would have also put in freaking a lot of sell orders at that point because it would make sense, you know. Previous high, it makes sense. You hit that previous high again. There's going to be a lot of sell orders there. There was a lot of sell orders around here as well. So this is truly a psychological area for Doge. If it does break it, like I say, I think it could easily snap to 10 cents easily. And I know I keep saying it. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it could. It could. I don't know. I don't think it will, though. I think maybe 10 cents is probably our limit on Doge. It all depends as well, like I say, what Elon does. You know, if Elon started spamming tweets about Doge again today, we'd see a breakout above this. I don't think he's going to, though. The fact that he took a break from it yesterday, I think maybe we might see a tweet when it starts to dump. But I think once it starts to dump this time, if enough time's gone by in between his tweets, I don't think it'll stop the dump. Because his tweets have been having diminishing returns, you know what I mean? You go from the initial tweets, big moves, you know what I mean? And then each tweet, the moves got smaller and smaller, which makes sense because obviously the way the markets work and the fact of the inflationary code of Doge is always going to suppress the price to a degree, and you're going to get to a point where that suppression is not only going to suppress it going up, it's going to start to push it down, and like I say, the bears will take over then. So yeah, I am expecting Doge to maybe see a little bit of upturn, but it's not going to be much. And I think dump city, baby, dump city. Maybe on the last 4 for the coin, then no more BTC. What's that, dude? What's that? What are you talking about? What the fuck's going on here? There we go. You talking about Bitcoin mining, are you? About the halvings and all that, or what are we talking about here? But yeah, like, you've only got to look at the money that still goes through XRP. You know what I mean? Like, even with the SEC case going on, like, this, like, it makes me think, like, you know, with everything that was happening as well with the XRP, like, because the American government were operating an XRP node, weren't they? And I get why. I understand why they've gone after him. But, you know, I wonder if legally the XRP do have a case to protect. But, you know, the SEC don't mess around, do they, man? You really don't want a court case coming at you from those guys. But if XRP wins the court case, man, it's going to fucking explode, man. There's going to be so much news about it. And like I say, there's still a lot of big money using XRP just because of the insanely fast transactions and cheap transactions as well. It really is a good asset from big money moving, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. What is it? 2144 or 2146, is it? I think. Do you reckon? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Like I say, obviously, I don't want the bull run to end because, you know, bull runs are great for making money. But at the same time, you know, shorts, man, you can make money on the downtrend. But I am really curious to see what Bitcoin tops out this time. We've obviously doubled previous high in the last run. Is that as far as it goes? You know, I don't think so. Like I say, I think we could see 50, 60k. I do genuinely think that. Well, we could easily see 50k. We're nearly fucking there anyway, aren't we? And I don't think we're quite through just yet. I think we've got a couple more months left in the run. But it just depends on how quick Bitcoin takes that path to its all-time high, isn't it? And then, like, that'll be a good indicator to really what's going to happen next time. Because the halving really does have a significant impact, doesn't it? You know, it's literally like taking away massive amounts of gold. It'd have an insane impact on the price of gold, wouldn't it? VeChain. Oh, VeChain's having a little spike. Looks like it might actually try and break through the high there. Still in that ascending triangle, man. Like I say, VeChain is looking really good at the moment, though. It's underperformed for me for a little bit, for a while. I was expecting bigger moves quicker, but this looks really good, man. You know what I mean? We've got this nice rounded bottom. We've found this higher low here, And we really are going into a nice uptrend, actually. On the daily, it looks a lot better, actually, to be fair, when you look at it on the daily than when you're looking in the hourly. But the hourly still looks good as well, man. You know what I mean? I think we are going to see a bit of a breakout. We'll see. It's tried it there, hasn't he? It's tried a little fake out there, actually. It's actually quite a big spike on the daily, isn't it? Yeah, I think we are going to see some decent moves on VeChain over the coming days and weeks. Hopefully, anyway. It's all season, man. It's what we want. You know what I mean? If your assets ain't moving now, they're, you know, it's not a good look. Even if they're only moving slightly to the upside. I want to see them 100x's, man. I want to see them 100x's. You know what I mean? Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens. Well, obviously, we won't see what happens because we'll all be dead. But I'm curious to what happens when that happens. Will there be, it's one of those things, will there be a consensus to allow a little bit more mining at a really fractional rate just to keep a little bit of Bitcoin coming into, you know, because it's like what will happen when the markets, when we, you know, all BTC's been mined, obviously it's going to explode in value, but will it cause maybe a possible market crash? You know what I mean? When it comes to that, I don't think it will, but it could possibly happen. But it's like you'd have to have consensus, wouldn't you? And it's just like, I think at that point, are you really going to have consensus from the entire market to basically make what they have and hold worth less? You know what I mean? You're really going to struggle to get those node operators and miners in on that. But it depends what happens, doesn't it, man? It's hard to even imagine what the financial systems will look like in 100 years, let alone what's going to happen with Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine, go back 100 years, people would have never thought of the idea that money would no longer be backed by gold and wouldn't have any precious metals in it, and it'd just literally be worthless paper that's only promised to be backed by the government. If you'd have told that people 100 years ago, they'd have probably been like, fuck off. Well, how would money work? You know what I mean? So, like, it is interesting to think about, but like, sadly, we'll never fucking know, will we? Because we'll be fucking brown bread by then, guys. It's on 625 for BTC now. So this half, the halving, I mean. Yeah, I can't, is it 50% each time, isn't it? And I don't know, what are we at the minute? Let me double check, actually. I know it'll get to the point in when it comes towards the end where it literally will be like percentages of a Bitcoin, won't it, being mined at those times. So like that, it is going to be incredibly valuable. So is it 6.25? Is it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 6.25 for every block. Yeah. Is it March 11th, 2024? $630 for one Bitcoin. Yeah, that'd be fucking insane, wouldn't it, man? Like, just like, that's what I say, man. All these people who were super early adopters who are sitting on a few thousand Bitcoin now, man. Like, obviously they're fucking rich as fuck now, but like, it's got to be exciting, isn't it? Seeing these moves where you're literally like, dude, I've made so many millions today, and I've done nothing. Fucking insane still, but you know, that's what you get for being an early adopter, man. More respect to them. More respect to them. Do you think a single global currency would be good or bad? See, I don't know. It depends. Like, there's positives, but I think there's negatives at the same time. I think if crypto really does become mainstream and becomes adopted, I don't think we'll have one crypto that becomes a global currency, because there'd be no reason to if we do truly, because then I think we'd be losing out on the decentralization of it all. I don't think the dollar's going anywhere. I think like stuff's going to be tied to the dollar, and in a way Bitcoin and digital assets will be what backs the dollar along with a bit of gold as well. I think that's what'll kind of happen. I don't know. There's smarter minds will know a lot more than me, but that's kind of what I think might happen. But I think when it comes to actual currency, like, you know, something that's going to be used for daily, because obviously Bitcoin's not, it could be, but it's not going to be used for that. You want something that's quick, cheap, and you want it to be instant, you know what I mean? Like I was talking about XRP. I'm not saying XRP is going to be that, but something that works like that. But I think we might have multiple, if I'm honest. I think we might have multiple currencies in the future that'll be on the blockchain, where, you know, there'll be like 3 or 4 different ones, and I think they'll obviously be international, interlinked in the sense that, you know, you won't have to worry that you could buy something for somebody in Vietnam with this. That's the great thing about decentralization, with this crypto, and they could buy something for you with a different crypto. I think we will probably find that there'll be a couple, I think, that will be like the main currencies of the world kind of thing, like, you know what I mean? Oh, yo, Neo, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the stream, fella. How you doing? Like, I think we'll probably have like strong currencies that come through that'll probably like take over in a sense digitally. Like I said, I don't think the dollar will go anywhere. That'll take over from playing what the role that the dollar plays, and I think we'll have like ones like kind of taking over for the euro and the yen and the pound, and I think we'll, like I say, I think we'll probably have 3 to 4, in my opinion, major currencies that'll be used for trading in the future. But, you know, I think it's like it's all down to the governments in it and big institutions. You know what I mean? Like say, it's a great move that Tesla made, awesome. And people forget things like Coca-Cola are working in crypto as well. Like, you know, and Visa have been there for a while, and PayPal as well. You know, Tesla are not the first guys. There's big corporations, MicroStrategy involved now, hedge fund and investing, but still, we're starting to see more and more companies getting involved now. And as those big companies get involved, I think inevitably, I do believe the banks will have to get involved as well, because, like I say, just things like take things for Ethereum, for example. It's totally open source. Anybody can code. Anybody can create a new financial vector system on top of ETH that could be a new amazing thing that could be like the next big thing, where when it comes to banks, they have their financial systems which are bubbles, which are not open source, which is just for them to build on, you know, no access to the API, and at the same time, they're pools. You know, your bank might work within this certain region and these certain countries, but if you really want to send money anywhere, crypto's the way, man. You know what I mean? And I think that's where we'll have, like I say, a couple that'll fill that space. But I do think it will be a couple. I don't think we'll have one coin, because already governments are trying to make their own digital coins, aren't they? That's why India banned Bitcoin. They still allow Ethereum and a couple of others, but they banned Bitcoin. The reason they banned Bitcoin is Bitcoin's competition. But I think a lot of people are getting mixed up with what Bitcoin's role is. Bitcoin's digital gold. It's not really. You can use gold to buy things, but you don't see people walking around with fucking gold bars like, yo, I'm going to buy a car. You know what I mean? Because you had Peter Schiff talking about all that shit, like, and when you think about it, gold in the sense is if you've got physical gold, it's not transportable. You know what I mean? It's divisible, but it's a lot harder to break down blocks of gold than it is to just be like, right, I'm going to send a couple of satoshis over the internet like that. Obviously, you know, the trading on Bitcoin's a bit slower because that's why it's not the best for transactions. But you know what I'm saying? It's a lot faster than, right, let me safely send this bar of gold across the world. Like, you know, it just does gold better than gold by far better. Like, it's insane. Like, how good a job Bitcoin does at being digital gold. It does, and it sounds magic. Do you think of it? It's just numbers, though. It's just. But at the end of the day, gold's just gold. We really don't use gold as much as we used to. We really don't. It really is just a store of value now, and it's only got what value we attach to it. In a sense, you know, stuff like that. And it's the same with Bitcoin. You know, we attach a value to it, but Bitcoin and digital currencies have a lot more use. They have a lot more value in the sense of use. You know, you get to the point now, Pokemon cards are worth a lot of money, but like that, they're pretty much fiat, aren't they? You know, the value is only there of what the market says the value is, really. And I know that's like the same with everything, but fiat is, when people talk about funny money, fiat is funny money. It is. The only reason that it's got value is the Fed or the Bank of England or whatever country you're in to say, well, that's worth that much, and we promise it's worth that much. But, you know, government promises is worth fucking the paper you wipe your arse on, isn't there, really? Are you watching a bit of golf, are you? What golf are you watching? Is it golf on at the minute, is there? I don't really watch golf, but I didn't even know there was anything going on at the moment. Remember how I was saying the Huntsman Mini's kind of dim? Yeah, it's the key caps. They don't have as much shine through. Oh, what, like on the letters, like they're a little bit, well, the plastic a little bit thicker or something, is he? On the letter, sorry. You know what I mean. On the buttons and stuff. Check out Atari coin. I think I've heard some stuff about that. Is that on Binance, is he? Let's have a look on a trading view. What did you say it was called? Atari. There we go, Atari. What's it on? Hit BTC. Fucking hell, that's wavy, innit, there? What's this? This is new, isn't it, this? Okay, no, that looks good, though. That does look good, man. You know what I mean? We've had a nice roundy bottom here. We had a pump. Come back down. Come back into a nice roundy bottom again. You know, we've had this uptake here. We're still coming back down, but I think we're probably going to find a higher low here, aren't we, man? That looks promising, man, as to see some real uptrend at the moment, actually. The indicator's telling to buy on here as well. Cypher's looking promising as well. Yeah, man, that looks actually all right. That does. It's kind of like a game. I was going to say, I know there's a lot of stuff as well. Getting like, because this is with this dude who was saying the other day, what's the difference? All cryptos are the same. Every coin's the same. I was like, it's not, dude. It's not. It's literally not. You've got things like Bitcoin, which literally is just an asset, basically. You've got things like Ethereum, which is an entire network that allows DeFi apps to be built on it. And then you've got things like Ethos. It's called Ethos, but I'll say it looks like Ethos. So it's Ethos, which is being made by Stephen Wozniak, who founded Apple, one of the co-founders of Apple. Theirs is designed to be all about energy saving and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and the idea that all coins are the same is ridiculous. Like, people who say that, it's so many ignorant people. Like, I'm totally ignorant. I am. I fucking am, but I don't pretend I'm not. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, I've been seeing that. There's, because it's like Axie Infinity. Have you seen that as well? Axie Infinity, like, do that as well. That's like you basically buy digital land in the Axie Infinity game, but you can make some serious bank on that. I think somebody sold some Axie stuff. I don't know if it was creatures or land or whether in Axie for like a lot of Ethereum. I think it was like $1.5 million worth of Ethereum. Again, some HyperX pudding keycaps on the 15th. Oh, nice. I misspelled Theo. Oh, did I? I was rushing earlier. Oh yeah. me is the wrong way around. Oh yeah, I agree, Reg. I really do agree. Like, I think, you know, it does money better than money. You know what I mean? Like, people forget as well. Like, but because they always just think of paper money, and they think when money's printed, it's all paper money, but it's not. It's all noughts and zeros. Money is digital, really. Money is digital nowadays, but it's backed by fuck all. Why not have an algorithmic set of values that can't be changed? And because at the end of the day, when it comes to humans will always fuck up markets. They'll try and manipulate them. They'll try and make them work for themselves. They'll try and save particular things when it's not logical. And that's where we get into the realm of money printing, don't we, to prop things up. So, like, that's why, like, it's superior as well, because there's none of that bullshit, you know what I mean? It's algorithms and coding and the chains and the blocks and the market dictating. And I'm not saying it's not open to manipulation. Of course it is, in terms of like dumping and pumping and sort of stuff, but that's as far as it goes. You know, you won't have individual centralized entities being like, no, we're going to put a stop to that, or we're going to pump so much liquidity into the market and it's going to drive down the value of the currency and drive the value of assets up and create mass inflation and all that sort of stuff. Like, I do believe that cryptocurrency, when it comes to currencies, it's saving us from ourselves in a way. You know what I mean? I do think that. Because we can't be trusted with it. We can't be trusted with currency. Like, we fuck every currency up. We have been for the last few hundred years. Like, I think it's time we try and lean away from giving individuals around the globe the power. Because let's face it, you know, it's the Federal Reserve that really control the global because after the Bretton Woods Agreement, the dollar becoming, after going from the pound to the dollar, becoming the global currency, but the same locally in countries as well. Those people that decide to just, let's print, let's change the interest rate, you know, we're going to pump cash in with stimulus, and that's all down to just a couple of individuals deciding on the rest of the world and the rest of a country, where Won't happen with this, you know what I mean? And if it does get to the point like we was talking about in the future, when Bitcoin's fully mined, there'll have to be a democratic consensus. That's the great thing about crypto, man. It's democratic. It's democratizing financial services, and that's what we need more than anything. You know, the reason we had the 2008 crash was because of centralized fucking banks using shitty bonds and pushing out mortgages to people who had bad credit to use the freaking bond yield to make themselves extra fucking bank, knowing full well that these people were going to default on the market. And you had people seeing that, then started shorting the market, which caused that fucking squeeze. And then we had the what's it? The crash, obviously, didn't we? Because you can't hack physical cash, you can only beat someone and mug them for it. Well, that's the thing, though. When it comes to crypto as well, it's safe. It's as safe as it gets, really, unless you're not sensible with it. If you have a hardware wallet, that's as safe as a vault, basically. Because in Germany, they arrested a bloke who was a hacker, and he got like 60-odd million worth of Bitcoin, and they're trying to confiscate the crypto off him, as far as I'm aware. But he's refusing to give him the password to the cold storage. They can't get it. They're like, if that was your money in your bank, they could just get to the bank and take your assets, or get to your house and take your gold or whatever. Like, they literally can't get it. They've got a thumb drive now that's worth 60 million, but it's worth fuck all because he's like, yo, I ain't giving the password. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I think's fucking awesome, man. It's great, that is. The problem with Bitcoin still has to be converted to actual cash. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem at the minute. That's why we need more markets to come on. Because if you get to places in Southeast Asia, there's lots of places that have Bitcoin ATMs and allow you to pay in freaking things like XRP and different things like those in that part of the world. They're really open to it, and that's why I think like 60% of the hash rate in crypto comes from China and stuff, because they're forward thinking in that sense. So, like, we need the West to come on board with that. But, like, now with PayPal coming in, getting involved, and Visa as well, there's going to be a Visa crypto card coming soon. So, you just need businesses to start getting involved. And once, like I say, more businesses get involved, the banks are going to have to get involved somewhere, because they're the money intermediary, and they're going to want to still be that if they end up being, like I say, an exchange or or going down the road of being an investment vector for people. That's when it'll really change then, because then, like you say, you can get to the shop and they accept blah, 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 blah crypto, and you literally don't even have to change into fiat, and you could just buy something with your crypto. Like Tesla are leading the way, you know what I mean? You can go and buy a Tesla now. I don't know if it's active right now, but in the coming time, in the soon future, the near future, you're going to be able to go to Tesla and never need to touch a bank, never need to touch fucking fiat, never need you to worry about an in-between. You can go directly to Tesla. There's my Bitcoin. Thanks for the car. Now, that's the future, man. You know what I mean? That's the future. Like, that's what we need more of. But we need that with other crypto that comes through that's better at transacting. Because Bitcoin's great, and you can purchase things with Bitcoin, but it's a little bit slower. You want stuff that, like, say, that's a bit like XRP, that allows you, and I'm not vouching for XRP because everything that's going on, and it's too centralized as well, like, for me personally. But that's what we need. We want some of that instant transactions, so you can send money to somebody around the world. And that, I know, like, shitcoin cash, I don't want to call it, but Bitcoin Cash does do that. That's why it forked off, because it was designed to be fast transactions. It was designed not to be used as an asset, but to be used as basically transfers. You know what I mean? You, like, say with something like Bitcoin Cash, like I says, Neo's working for me. I could literally be sending him money, as, like, say he's doing some artwork for me, and, like, every 10, 15 minutes he's knocking up a nice fucking bit of artwork, and he's emailing me and saying, yo, dude, what you reckon? And I could be like, yo, there you go, dude, there's 20 bucks. There's 20 bucks 10 minutes later. There's 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, all throughout the day. Where the bank, you can't do that shit. You know what I mean? It takes long. The charges end up being just like, you know what, I'll pay you at the end of the week kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where it's going to give that financial freedom of when somebody gives a service that can be instantly paid. And I think it'll just make the world work faster and more efficient. Like, don't get me wrong, crypto is not going to allow us to do things that we can't already do, but it's going to allow us to do things that we can already do faster, more efficiently, and cheaper. And in the long run, more energy efficient. You know what I mean? Because people talk about Bitcoin being not energy efficient, and in a small scale, it kind of isn't because of the the mining, but it uses a lot less. It's a lot less dirty than many other industries. You know what I mean? And in the long run, if financial services do go all down the crypto, the excess waste that's created in moving pallets of money around and other assets, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna like level out in the end. You know what I mean? ADA's actually coming up a little bit quicker than I thought. Actually, I think we will resist off 69 now, get rejected. Like I say, I think we're going to bounce along, and then I think we're going to break out round about here, possibly. We'll see. I do think we're going to have a breakout quite soon with ADA. Obviously, it got slowed down. I think we would have continued on after this. I think we would have continued on, if I'm honest, and continued to the upside possibly. But Bitcoin put a little bit of a break on that when it went fucking parabolic yesterday. The daily's not looking great, but it's not terrible. Like I say, a correction wouldn't be bad here. It might last a couple of days looking at things on the daily, actually. But I do think we need a bit of a consolidation because of this crazy uptrend. You know what I mean? We dumped after that. We haven't dumped. We've had a bigger move to the upside. But I think we're probably going to move within this range here and then see some upturn. Maybe a couple of days, maybe even a bit longer. Like I say, that's good for alts. So if we can come up here and we can do this for a couple of days, a week or so, we're going to see alts explode. And that's kind of what we want. We want the alts to explode, then Bitcoin to pull back a bit of the dominance and maybe have a bit of an ebb and flow like that. And the bull run will probably carry on a little bit longer then as well. And like I say, if more and more companies start coming out and announcing that they're investing or they're getting involved in crypto, it's going to be good for us all, man. Excuse me. Got the sniffles. Yeah, but do you really think Karen from Iowa knows how to use Bitcoin wallet, let alone... Well, that's the thing. We're going to get to the point where it's even easier, you know what I mean? Like, where, like, Reg says, QR codes and, instant, like, just like your bank app, you hop on your app and you, like, transfer to Bitcoin, use thumb recognition or facial recognition, use your little passcode that you've got, which should obviously be the priority way to do it, and boom, you sent it over, kind of thing. That's what's going to happen. What we need now is, and that's what's happening with the DeFi space. So is dApps that are going to be made like that, so people can build an infrastructure for phones. That's where it's going to change, because obviously you want all the other infrastructure. Be the first like crypto that really comes out and is very much built with like mobile transactions in mind and ease of use and, like I say, fast, cheap transactions. That's going to be one that really truly starts to become used as a day-to-day currency, you know what I'm saying? Of like, I need to buy blah, blah, blah. I'll use this currency to buy it, kind of thing. I think we are getting close to that situation. Maybe it comes from the DeFi space, I don't know. What was the price of that coin again? Which ADA? You talking about ADA? ADA is at 68 cents at the moment. It's trying to push through 69 cents. I think we might see a lower 66 before we break back out. Banks just haven't figured out how to insert themselves into the Bitcoin mix. Exactly, yeah. They will. But like, this is why I hope that they're a little bit later to the party. They'll try and stop it with regulation and try and push governments. But like I say, if enough of the big corporations get involved, the Fortune 500s and big corporations in Britain, a FTSE, in China and India and in Europe, and if enough of those companies come on board, the banks are going to have to follow, and the banks are not going to be able to stop it. Like, they're going to try. HSBC are trying. They've tried to stop people withdrawing the cash from exchanges out into their banks, which, fuck those guys. The same guys who were saying it's dangerous, happy to funnel money into freaking South American cartels. You know what I'm saying? Like, so... the Atari one. Oh, sorry, my bad. At the moment, it is sitting at... Where are we? 0.000, lots of zeros, 3838. So it's like a percentile of a penny at the moment, isn't it? So, what are we talking there? Like, is that like one tenth of a penny or something? Is it? Yeah, we got a way to go. But I think looking at this, like I say, you got a buy signal here. It's looking all right on here. On the charts, that looks decent, man. We got this double bottom formed here. We had that little breakdown there, but it seems to be the support line there for the bottom. Obviously, it's pretty low, so you can't go any lower on this really now. You know what I mean? This is as low as it goes. This is not very risky at all. This is the sort of asset that you're going to buy into this. You're probably going to get good returns. You know, because you can't really not at this point. Obviously, you can get down a little bit more, but you're so low here that really, uptrends the way, man. And it looks good as well. It looks good on the charts as well, man. Like I say, there's a buy signal here as well. So. Which I'm starting to use a little bit more, man. I don't use it solely. I usually use it with my other indicators on Binance, but I can't look at this on Binance, so I'm having to just solely go on this. But yeah, man, it looks all right, It doesn't look bad at all, for my opinion at the minute. I might actually, I don't know, where can you buy that? Was it BT? I don't even know what that is, man. I'll have to have a look for that, because that does look promising, actually. I might have a little dabble on that myself, dude. All right, if you're pointing that out. I might have to look into the fundamentals on it, actually, because that looks nice. That's it as well, because Bank of England, I'm talking about negative interest rates, isn't they? So I'm going to start charging you for fucking putting your money in your bank. Instead of them going, well, here's a little bit of interest, a pittance, that's why banks are shit. The interest rate that they give you doesn't matter anyway, because the inflation of... inflation that's going on and the deflating value of your currency, that interest rate does fuck all. Now we're getting to the point, not only have we got inflation, the banks are going to start saying, oi, we want some money for using your cash. Fuck off. That's a good call, actually. Have a look on CoinGecko in a bit. That because your money isn't your money when it's in a bank, they invest your money and do what they want with it, and it's legal as long as they give it back. Yeah, exactly. Blue and orange. Bitcoin is owned by Maliwan. Yeah, the Bitcoin, what's it is orange. Well, it's the gold, what's it? But like, there's the stickers as well. That's the logo. That's a bit more of an orange color. Let's actually have a look. Let's have a look. See if we've got a white paper. Tari token is an ERC20 token that is based on Ethereum. Makes sense. So it's I'm guessing it's in the DeFi space, yeah. Official contract address of the Atari token. Atari, you can check the official Etherscan link here. Vision about Atari. I like the website. They've got a nice little website, actually. Is this actually genuinely linked with Atari? Because that's the Atari logo, isn't it? So is that actually genuinely, like, is this Atari involved in this? Because that's the Atari logo, and it's got the copyright fucking what's it on it, the registered trademark. So that's actually Atari, yeah. Investing in elemental weapons. Atari token is a decentralized cryptocurrency that was created to become the token of reference for the interactive entertainment industry. Our plan for the token is to become a universal means of payment for interactive entertainment industry, allowing developers and publishers new options for monetization of their products, integration of smart contracts, protection of in-game assets, and so much more. Read about all our latest developments below. Interesting, man. Since each transaction is stored on a distributed ledger, tampering with recorded history or minting new tokens from thin air to manipulate value is impossible. We aim to enable other developers to easily integrate the Atari token in their games. Interesting. We intend to list the Atari token on as many platforms as possible, allowing token holders to easily make exchange. That freaking what's it? Looks like an A, man. I don't know if it's just me being blind. Easily make exchanges for other currencies. A choice of platforms will depend on the different criteria such as regulation, safety, and volume of transactions. Skills matter. We are working on innovative games in which you can stake tokens against any other players. The best player wins the prize. Yeah, that's quite cool, actually, that is. Casino. Our tokens can be used to play games in Atari Casino besides standard games like roulette, poker, and blackjack. We're working on innovative gambling games where you... At least they actually use the word gambling. They're being honest. Other people would be like, in fun games where money's on the line, kind of thing, and something like. We don't want to say gambling. Not that gambling's bad. I don't do it, but as long as you're sensible with it, gambling can be a thing that people enjoy doing. As long as you're just willing to piss your money at the wall. Gambling games where your skill increases a chance of winning. Much more. This is a long-term plan, and we will continue to develop our portfolio of use cases in accordance with applicable regulations. Stay tuned for updates. Let's have a look at the white paper. Oh, I'm going to be looking to... Well, I'm waiting. Once this bull market's over now, I'm going to be start moving my some of my money over to stocks. So... August 5th, 2020. Man, my eyesight's terrible, man. That's so small. Fuck the legal disclaimers. I don't care about all that shit. There's something I can look at later when it comes to fucking messing around with you. Talk so much more than video games. Video games industry, and more generally the interactive entertainment industry, is filled with opportunities for blockchain and distributed ledger technology. That's true, though, especially when it comes to tracking and controlling in-game assets and stuff and purchases. And it could be make it so that in the sense, where we do have microtransactions in games, it could reduce the cost of microtransactions for the consumer at the same time as providing liquidity and extra investment for the games that use it. You know what I mean? If they allow their storefronts or whatever to become part of the blockchain, it could really reduce costs for gamers, which is definitely what we want. Because of course, storefronts and games as a service is not going away. But if it can make it so they still get to make the bank, but it's cheaper for us, and that's definitely a good thing, isn't it? Who have access to an incredible variety of games, but also developers, producers, and any professional trying to succeed in the gaming industry. The immediate goal of the Atari token is to be a reference utility cryptocurrency used for the world of video games. The broader objective of the Atari token is to establish itself as a cryptocurrency of choice for anyone in the industry fulfilling a task with a smart contract. We intend to capitalize on a trend that is growing exponentially in our industry, the decentralization of tasks around the globe. So I suppose it could use like a lot of NFT stuff within that then, wouldn't you, in terms of collectibles and stuff maybe. Because like that's what I might start doing, man. I might start doing some artwork I had, man, for like NFTs, which is just like with Ethereum gas tokens and stuff now, gas prices around the globe, and the use of smart contracts to fulfill them. We see the Atari token as an opportunity for anyone, even the underbanked and underserved, or the next wave of 4 billion individuals who are getting access to the internet, to find useful incentive for their work and improve their financial condition through access to a new decentralized financial system. This document outlines the vision and characteristics of the Atari token. Frederick, so it is Atari then, yeah, no way. Forward by Frederick Cheney. Is that how you pronounce that? Atari token cryptocurrency, whose primary goals are to be integrated as an in-game currency and offer a means of payment to individuals, including access to means of payments, fundamental to economic development. This is true for countries, companies, and individuals. Every entity or individual has to be able to provide goods or services and be compensated in exchange. Today, many are excluded from traditional banking services either because they are underserved or... That's another point as well, isn't it? That is the thing that poor people typically don't have access to banks because of KYC, not having abodes, people who like, are in between, living, who are moving around, not like homeless on the street homeless, but people who are sofa surfing, who are or like constantly on the move, people in third world countries. Like this is where like crypto could be amazing, because you've got the hyperinflation in these countries, lack of access to banks, but then when they do get access to banks, the local pool banks that don't serve them in the global financial world that we are now in, and we can't ever escape that now. There's no going back from the global financial world, and cryptocurrency kind of solves all them problems in a sense, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So like, this would be cool. This would, within games. This is a really cool idea. I'm going to have a proper read of this, Reg. I appreciate you fucking showing this one to me. Because I'd heard something about Atari token or something, but I didn't think it was anything to do with gaming or anything to do with actual Atari. I thought that was just the ticker name, you know what I mean? And it was called something else, but this is interesting, man. I'm going to definitely have to have a look at this, dude. I appreciate you showing that, man. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking about doing, man. Maybe doing a little bit of artwork and... doing it via NFTs. See what you guys are saying. Yeah, dude, that mask is sick, man. I got to admit, when you showed me that, I was like, yo, that's fucking dope. That is, man. That is dope. Oh yeah, fuck that, you know, because like we know that masks, like, you know, places Asia and stuff, they wear masks all the time, don't they? And fuck yeah, I'd love to be able to wear a mask like that, man. Like you can talk to people as well. There's no like worry about the watching. There's the fucking speaker in it and stuff. Especially if you could, like if they did it, dude, as well. So you could have add filters into the little microphones. So you can make yourself sound like Bane or something. That'd be fucking cool, man. That'd be fucking cool. I'm with you on that one, dude. Like that was dope. Still. I might have to have a look at that myself when they actually get to like, you know, a bit more to the point of saying, because at the minute they're like I think they're in a bit more of a proof of concept. What's it, aren't they? Yeah, it is really. It is kind of like a Division mask, man. Reminds me a little bit of the masks in Watch Dogs Legion, actually, but just better, you know, because a lot of them wear like them sort of like what's it masks. They've got like the digital interface on the front, but they're just not as cool as that one. That one looks like something like Viper, like out of fucking out of Valorant, but like, you know, with RGB and the speaker. Like, I just love the idea that he's got the fucking that's fucking cool, man. It really is cool. That was when I watched that, I was like, no way, that's sick, man. No, but man, oh yeah, don't blame me, dude. That's the way, innit? Like, that's the way. Like, you know, you find them new coins that are just starting to get listed or not yet listed, and they're in a staking phase or something like that, and learn the fundamentals, because like there's more and more stuff coming out now. Like, you know, this is what I was talking about. You know, when I was on about these dudes who I've been watching just lately, and they say there's no difference between any of the cryptos, and it's like there is. You've only got to read white papers for individual cryptos to understand that some are trying to do a totally, like, these are trying to, you know, create a transaction service for within the gaming industry, and obviously looking to try and go for underserved areas, which i.e., you know, the poor, and probably, you know, places like Africa and poorer places in Asia and stuff, in the Middle East and stuff, probably. And then, like, you know, you've got some that literally, like I say, that effort at trying to help with energy saving and energy efficiency, all that. And then you've got things like Bitcoin, which is literally just it's an asset against inflation. Like, you know, all can be traded, I get that, you know, but like, you know, some, like I say, do money better than others, don't they? And some are trying to be something more, but that you know, that have that trading aspect to them as well, but are actually trying to be something a little bit more. Like, just take Ethereum, innit? You know, it can be traded, but if it weren't for Ethereum, that wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? So that's the great thing about it. That's why I like Ethereum, man. And that's why, like I say, I am quite hyped about Ada and Dot. We've got to see what they do with Ada in terms of like development. But I am, like, it does seem like there's a lot of people working on Ada, actually. So be curious to see how that goes down. But yeah, dude, man, that's sick. Like I say, it looks like it's primed to pop as well, man. So I might have to see about getting on that. And that's one of them ones where you can get a lot of fucking shit for cheap as well. So, you know, if it ever does really become something, which, I don't know, I'm going to have to look in what the cap is, what the market's going to be like, what's going to be, you know, in circulation at any given time or anything like that. It sounds like it probably is going to have a hard cap. So, yeah, man. It does look decent as well. Like I say, it does really look actually quite decent on the charts as well. So, sounds like a good project and doesn't look bad either. So that could be definitely something to look into, and I will do, man. The interior light has LEDs in it too, not just the rings. Yeah, the thing's sick. It really is. Like, when you was like, oh, Razer have made a mask, I was like, oh man, this is gonna look trash. It's gonna look really cringe. But then when I seen it, I was like, ooh, that doesn't just look like a sick mask. That, you know, obviously with the minus all the extra stuff, you just look cool. But then like the fucking speaker, the LEDs and the RGB and shit, like, man, it's fucking dope. Really fucking dope, that is. You know, Tron was copy and paste of Eve with a new gas fee. Yeah, the only problem with Watch It as well is it's just inflationary, and I don't like fucking What's It, man. What is it? Is it Justin Sun? I don't like him. I think he's a dickhead. Man. It is Justin Sun. Is that? Yeah, he owns What's It Exchange? Is he? Yeah, I don't. I think it is indeed. It's Justin Sun, I think. Yeah, don't like him, man. I think he's a knob. I think he's the one who bought D Live. Yeah. I just remember him seeing him to Watch It where he was having drinks with people, and he was like, yeah, buy my shit coin. Like, I just think the dude's a dickhead, man. Give me a second, I'll be back in a minute, lads. Oh yeah, Rosie brought my chair as well, Neil. Have you seen this? I'm going to get it fixed, but I've ordered a new chair because, like, fuck it. I had a good day yesterday. Look at this, man. You know the central fucking, like, core that attaches to the base? Rosie's come and fucking plonked herself down on me, ain't her? So the middles fucking come drop through the fucking the wheel, like, so the middle bit's lower than the wheels. So I'm kind of like that at the minute. So I need to strip it down, man, and sort it out. Which I'm gonna fix it, but like I was like, fuck it, I'm getting a new. I'm getting a new chair now. You can have the old one as well, Rosie, because I've been meaning for ages to get a chair sorted for her. So I'll fix this. She can have the broken one. Well, it's not broken. It is at the minute, but I'll fix it. Nothing's actually broke, if you know what I'm saying. It's just the weight's just pushed it through the hole, which it wasn't supposed to go down that far. So I'll get that fixed. But I've ordered a new one, so hopefully that should be here tomorrow. So I'll have a nice, fresh new chair tomorrow. Which I really didn't want to buy. Like I said, I had a really good day yesterday. It kind of even didn't dent into the profits that I made. I had like a really good day yesterday. But freaking, you know, I'm looking at everything now because I'm like trying to invest as much as I can. I'll look at that 150 quid and I'm like, oh, it's not only 150 quid. 150 quid's a lot of money, but I'm like, that could have been £1,000 in a couple of weeks if I'd have put it into the right asset. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I keep doing it. I've been telling her for ages. I keep sitting on my lap when I'm on my chair. I'm like, Rose, this shit ain't built for you. I think it's built for like 18 stone. Because I'm like 12 stone. You're like 10, 11 stone. It's too fucking much, you know what I mean? Or 13 stone, I think I am. Because I got fat. No, I was about 13 stone actually when I was banging at the gym, really. I ain't really changed in weight, man. It's just I'm less muscle at the minute. But yeah, I've been telling her for ages. Would she listen? She always thinks it's me trying to be awkward and you don't want to give me a hug. It's like, no, I just don't want my chair bossed. So now I've got a boss chair. But it is what it is. Like I say, it's not a massive biggie really. Litecoin's starting to have a little run. But give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, did you guys hear as well about Blockfolio getting hacked? Yeah, Blockfolio got hacked earlier, man. They didn't actually get to the part of the exchange where anybody's cash was or details was, but they actually got into like the front end, and I think they got into, I don't know if they got into the Twitter, and they was posting stuff like, we've sad news, we've had to suspend service to all freaking black people and stuff, and it was just like, what's going on here? These guys have been hacked. And then people was going on to the exchange and on the app, and they'd changed all the names of the coins to N-word coin. So instead of saying Bitcoin, it said N-word coin. And you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, what the fuck? But I don't think anybody's stuff got compromised. Like, fellas, just trying to get myself a nice cup of coffee because I've got no tea bags. I want that razor. They've fucking got a chair, have they? Was it a disco ball chair, is it? Huh? The fuck is this? Have I got to Google this now? Am I going to be impressed? What's it called? The Razor Iska. He didn't light up. Disappointed. Oh, it's quite sick though. That's a nice setup, man. Nice and crisp, like. By me. That was one of them burps. Oh, that looks a comfortable back. That does. It's like fully built-in lumber, isn't it? Oh shit, it moves. Oh shit. Oh shit, that's fucking. That's something that I could see that I could probably end up breaking, though, wouldn't it? That's fucking cool, man. That's just one of the things. It depends on how well that's engineered, isn't it? If that's really well engineered, that's fucking cool still. Razer are like fucking Elgato, ain't they? They're like tech standard ideas and just pimp them up to the max, like. High density foam cushions. Well, that's normal, isn't it, though? My worry is that'd be like something that break quick. See, that's exactly, you know, this bit here, and you obviously you got your feet here. When Rosie's fucking jumped on my lap, it's pushed the whole thing down. It's broke nothing, but it's just like where that would sit, it's just forced it down, like, you know what I mean, with the excessive weight, which I'm surprised the fact that it's forced it down, that it didn't break. It shows that this chair is actually quite well built. It's just, it can't take that sort of weight. So I'm lucky it didn't fucking snap all together, man. Nice chair though, to be fair. Yeah, that lumbar support's cool, man. It's just one of them things, like I say, obviously, can't question it because I ain't seen it. What's it? As long as it's good build quality, that'll be fucking dope. That's a really cool way to do the lumbar support. Actually, that is like, instead of the typical just the pillar right at the bottom, that's giving you like full lumbar support, really, from like you know, like from your thorax down in it, like, you know what I mean? Check out the Aero Cool LED chair. Not that one, is he? Is that where is that like? Is this the LED? It's alright looking channel actually. Oh, it's only got a 2-star though. Fiber optic strips. I know people can have gaming chairs on carpet, man. I'm not judging, like, you know. It's just that I can imagine the movement. It wouldn't feel too great. Looks cool. It is nice to look at. It is comfortable, but you can't lock your sideways. You can't lock your sideways. That is arms in place. So when you go to lean on them, they give away and twist away, which isn't. Oh, that's kind of shit, isn't it? What's the point in having a fucking armrest if you can't rest your arm on it? That's not even bit there. Looks cool though. Man, I had an X-Rocker like that. Fucking piece of shit. I'm going to leave that up actually though, because I want to have a look at that later. Okay, it looks like it says, Doge was in a bit of a indecision of what to do price-wise. It's moving in that range. It's still within that range. It's gone down a couple of percent of a cent, but like, this is nothing major. Like I say, I do still think there's maybe a little bit of room for some upward movement on Doge, but I think it's really starting to come to the point now where dump is going to be coming soon. And like I say, anybody who's holding bags of Doge, get your exit strategy ready. If you haven't took some profit, then I know, don't think about the movement. Fuck the movement, guys. Think about yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is not going to become the currency of the future. I know you might think it is. I know Elon was joking around with it. And I know like he was making some tweets that actually were quite serious. At the end of the day, you've not got to listen to what billionaires say. You've got to listen to look at what they do. Where did Elon put the money of Tesla? Into Bitcoin, not into fucking Doge. Doge is a bit more of a fun kind of thing. Like, so, I will say, guys, if you do have bags of Doge, make sure you've took some. Make sure you took some profit, for the love of God. If you're not out yet, make sure you've took some profit, guys. Please, because you don't want to be that dude left holding the bag when the music stops and you're down whatever. Obviously, that's why it's always the best to make sure you invest what you're totally cool willing to lose, but at the same time, you don't want to just lose it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to. Like, of course you don't. Like, whether it's 10 quid, 50 quid, 100 quid, a grand, whatever's easy for you to lose, whatever your class as not being a major thing. But obviously, if you can make that grand, 2 grand, or you can make that 50 quid, 100 quid, or whatever, be sensible. Trust me, there's no point in holding on to this asset thinking it's going to be $1 or thinking it's going to be anything more. I see people genuinely out there thinking that Doge is going to be worth more than Bitcoin, and it's like, you need to take a second, learn a little bit of the basics, and understand that you've got to start being really careful here. Now, if you are heavily invested here, you need to start thinking about getting the fuck out. And I'm not telling anybody to sell or buy. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just telling you just need to be careful. Like I say, we could still see some movement on Doge. Really could. Just with all the back pressure and all the previous volume. The fact that it's still hyped at the moment. When people are streaming Doge streams, they're still getting thousands of people watching. So there's still people looking for it. You know what I mean? And it was the most trending crypto ever on social media. But obviously, it's not like that just built up on its own. It was an artificial thing. If it wasn't for the old stop thing, this would never happened initially. People come over as a bit of a protest. Elon got involved. This is where we are right now. Understand that, guys. Understand that it's not doing this on its own value. It's not doing this on its own worth. It's doing the previous pump. Elon's got involved. Just think, how long can that be a thing? How long can that still be a factor? How long is Elon going to be involved? How long are people still going to be willing to have diamond hands? Do you know what I'm saying? Don't ever let people make you feel bad about taking profits. At the end of the day, you're investing. Like I'd say, I've been seeing these streams, people are talking about, if you're investing in Doge for profit, then you're not in the right place. And it's like, that is what Doge is for. Doge is for nothing other than gaining profit. At the end of the day, if you're investing as an individual, the idea is to make money. The idea is to make profit. The idea is to put money away, that even if it's a long-term thing and you can take out later. If you want to be part of the movement to cryptocurrency, that's fine, because I am for that movement. I'm for assets and decentralized finance becoming the future of finance. And like you see things like that, Atari things, cool things like that. I want to see more of that. And that's where, if you really, really, really care about that stuff, make money on crypto. But, maybe getting to see about coding, doing blockchains, doing all that sort of stuff, working on dApps and working in the DeFi space and, or being an advocate of the space, trying to be that person that becomes the person that's sitting in Congress or sitting in the Houses of Parliament or just a what's the word I'm looking for? A campaigner for the space, you know what I mean? If that's how you feel. But don't think the way that you're going to change the world is by going, I'm going to hold my bag till the end of time on Doge, because all that's going to happen, the world's not going to change. Your local world's going to change, is because if you have put significant money in, you're going to be fucking broke. So Just don't do it, guys. Be careful. Like I say, when Doge starts to move, it starts to move quick. We're already having a little bit of a breakdown here. I said, didn't I? I thought we might move along this range for a little bit. We still possibly could because people are still buying up the dips big time on Doge. But I thought we might see a little bit more of a movement to the upside. But, you know, we broke down a little bit out of this level of support. There's been a little bit of support for what? The last 24 hours plus. This has been a bit of strong support. It's finally breaking down now. It's after a rejection of the high. We could see quite a significant dump here, guys. Maybe down to around about 6.3. Then maybe come back up. Like I say, there's still lots of buying pressure there because it's not dumping. Well, actually, it is starting to dump quite quick now, actually. It looks like there's not so much buying pressure there. Oh, man, we are dumping, aren't we? See what I'm saying with the way Doge can move when it starts to move down, guys? You know what I mean? You've done 12% there in the space of 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like I says, when Doge starts moving, it can really start moving. So just be freaking careful, man. If you haven't took profit now, I would at least be scalping a little bit of profit. I would have took profit anyway. Me, I'm all out. I'm all out now. I've got a little bit of random bits of Doge hanging in there that I didn't cash out. I took my profit here initially. I got back in and I took my profit right at the top. I actually got it just bang on. Well, say bang on. I took out at 82 something. It peaked on the wick at what? 86.2. Well, say 862 because it's not 86, it's 8 cents. So yeah, man, you got to be super careful, guys. Like I say, there's a lot of buying pressure. There is a little bit of a level of support around this area though, because this was an incredibly hard part for Doge to get through. It struggled getting through here, so by logic, you know, that's the thing. Like I say, that's why you don't want them when it comes to moves, guys. That's why you don't necessarily want that sort of move, because you get that sort of move down. You want that kind of like, you know, so you get a little bit of support on the way down before dumps, because you can see it just here. We had this pretty much vertical move up. So when it dropped down, it was pretty much a fucking vertical cliff down, you know what I mean? We've had this slower build up here now. So if it is in the middle of a dump, and I'm not saying it is just now, just because we've moved down a cent, it doesn't mean we're dumping just yet. Like I say, we could still see some more move to the upside. It just depends on now how many people are willing to really keep holding the line. And like I said, will we see a tweet off Elon once it starts to dump? That's the thing I'm curious about. Like, because last time we started to dump, Elon came to its rescue. Really, this is the most significant dump we've seen since then. Like I say, with everything that's going on, it doesn't mean this is going all the way down. And even if it does dump, I'm still like on the fence of that. I think maybe it could find some support, get a higher low on the long run here, and then maybe continue back up for a little bit. Maybe try and test this high again. Possibly, and if it does, then I think maybe we could see, like I say, I still think 10 cent could be seen by Doge. I really do. And at crazy levels 14, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I think the max we're probably going to see is 10 cent. Like I say, depending, if we see some Elon tweets, maybe it'll get saved. But yeah, we might see an attempt to rally back up here, and we'll see what happens then. If we end up getting a lower high, I think we're gonna start to break down. But like I say, and this area is giving lots of support, so it might not necessarily be a complete and utter dump, but I think when we get round to here, we'll probably see it really dump down then. I think once it gets below 5 cents, 4 cents, it's going to get down to less than a cent quick, I think. We'll see, though. But like I say, with all the amount of people that have been buying in, it might hold the line a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden you got investors left and right. Oh yeah, everybody's on it now, dude. I've been in crypto for a little while now, but I just haven't really streamed any of it. But I've been up late every night for like the last couple of weeks now, because we're in a bull market, and I'm like, I can't play video games, and I've been telling people I'm gonna get live for like 2 weeks. I was like, well, I may as well. I can't fucking look at video games at the minute because I've not been sleeping much. So I was like, you know what, we'll just fucking stream some market shit, man. But like I says, guys, be sensible when it comes to pump and dumps. And Doge is a pump and dump, just because there's a lot of hype around it at the minute. I use eToro. Oh, I don't use eToro. I use Binance, dude. I use Binance for my altcoins, mainly. I haven't dabbled for a while, but I used to dabble a little bit in Coinbase, but fees are ridiculous on Coinbase, and you haven't really got much options in terms of altcoins. But I typically stick to Binance, man. The Binance UI could be a little bit better, but I do quite like Binance, actually. So yeah, it's trying to hold that. There's obviously a little bit of a buy pressure there. Let's have a little look on Twitter as well, man, because like I say, I reckon we might see a saviour tweet from Elon. It might happen. Rosie, Jamie, thank you for the love over on Twitter. Appreciate it, Jamie. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Actually, this is what I was doing as well. Just reply to us. Let's have a look on the Twitter. See if Elon's tweeting. I don't think he will. Nothing from last night. So at the moment, Elon's not here to save it. This is all down to the hodlers now, and people who are probably trying to go in back on the buys, because I know there's still a real desire from a lot of people in the community who are like, buy the dips, buy the dips. It's only going to last so long with Doge, like I say. The dips at some point are going to turn into fat dumps, baby. Oh, yeah, people are FOMO, dude. Like, because people forget, people who are new to the space don't realise that Doge does this every cycle anyway. It pumps and it dumps. It's what it does, naturally. But obviously, this all really came off the back of the Wall Street bullshit and people coming over as a little bit of a protest. Do you know what I'm saying? Then we had the dump off that, and then he, like, which, to be fair, it levelled out quite well, actually, there. I didn't think it would, but I think there was still a lot of people who got in late, who were just holding on the hope it comes back up, and then Elon kind of came to the saviour. But like I say, I was out, I got in down here, I got out up here, I took my profit, and I was like, you know what, I'm just on the sidelines now, let's see what happens, it'll be fun to watch. But then I started to see, this little nice trend here, and then we really got into this nice bullish upward trend here. We're getting into these ascending triangles, and once we started to break through this resistance here, I was like, stuff it, man. I bought back in, and that was mine. It's like I was gonna ride it because like I knew the tweets was gonna push it up, but I was like, I ain't trading off tweets. Like you can make money off it like that because every time you tweeted, it shot up. But I ain't trading off tweets. But when I started to really see this bullish pattern emerging, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's get back in, man. FOMO! But I got right out to the peak as well, so that was and it was a slice of profit from out that, so it was just like, fuck it, let's have a laugh kind of thing, like. But I did tell you, I said we were going to have some sort of correction soon. Like I says, I thought we might see some, maybe an attempt to rally to the upside before we had the correction. We did have a bearish divergence on the hourly, on the 15-minute. Did we have it on the 4-hour? Actually, yeah, we did. We had it on the 4-hour as well. So we had bearish divergence across multiple time zones. It was inevitable that we was going to get some sort of a correction. I didn't think it was going to be this harsh, if I'm honest, actually. I thought we might come down to about 7.5 and then maybe try again. Because like I said, at the minute, it's still, with people trending to push people to buy, is going to be a factor. But at the same time, we're in a bull market, and we're kind of slow. Well, we're in alt season as well, aren't we now? So it was going to rally anyway. So, I think that's the only thing that's propping it up now. It's just, this has happened at a perfect time for this pump to hold on as long as possible. Do you know what I'm saying? So, exactly, dude. I've been seeing some dudes who've been streaming, man, who keep telling people to buy. It's going to be the next big thing. Buy. Don't understand the fundamentals of Doge and why it's always going to have price suppression because of the inflationary factors of it, and then at the same time it's a pump and dump, and like I say, once people really start taking profits, we'll see what happens now. We'll see how strong the line is. Like I say, it could hold. We'll just see how adamant people are to stick to this line of hold, because a sensible person would have been out now. It would have, you know what I mean? If you're just playing with some fun money to have a fuck around, whatever. But if you was in down here, if you're buying after here, really, that's a bad buy in my eyes. There was still room to make profit, but in these sort of movements, really, when I got in was dangerous, but I could see that we was getting a nice bullish trend there, so I was like, fuck it, and it was profit upon profit, so it was extra money. I wouldn't have threw money in that I was, like, first time money, because it was a slice of profit. I was like, whatever. In a way, it's free. I don't like throwing money away, but I was like, fuck it, let's ride it. Like, let's see what happens. You know what I mean? But what tends to happen, FOMO kicks in, done it, man. Like, if you're in these situations, you want to be buying around this sort of this area. Anything past that, really. I know it's continued on, but you really shouldn't FOMO in them situations, because yeah, he carried on all the way up to 8 cents. Shit could have dumped anywhere after that, really. You know what I mean? It really could have, because we were already in a pretty parabolic move then. You know, we got up 300%. You're getting into a coin on 300%, man. You're really risking a fucking dump. But obviously, the pump was strong, so people were lucky all the way up to round about here, if they got out quickly anyway. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, you had a lot of people buying in round here who I think then held on with the dear hope that it was coming back. Then obviously Elon came to the rescue. So I think there's still a lot of people holding, but that's only going to last so long. Like I say, hype and hope can only take you so far. Elon's been... I know people will say, it's not just Elon, it's just that's buying, which is true, but it's Elon's hype that's kind of held things up the way they are at the moment. And he didn't tweet yesterday about it. We have seen nothing from him so far, even though we're in a dump. And I'm to the point now where I think maybe he's not going to tweet about it anymore. Maybe the odd little funny remark, but I think once we start to see some real lower numbers, man, the bears are obviously going to take over. People are going to start taking profit. I think what the thing is on now, there's so many people buying in high on Doge, they're scared to sell because obviously they're in the negative. And what a lot of people will do with a new, they'll be 5% down, 10% down, and I'm like, nah, I'm holding, and then next thing another 20% down, and then 30% down, and instead of just cutting the losses and getting out, there'll be a lot of people who are thinking, well, we've got to have the same thing happen. We'll go down and we'll come back up, which is, like I say, it's possible. We could genuinely see, like, a low coming down to these sort of areas and, like, coming back up off this previous trend line. It's kind of been invalidating it, but it could happen. You know what I mean? And we could see an attempt at a rally back up and possibly go into 10. But then I think that then will be the serious dump. Like I say, I did think we might, like, this is why I got my Death Star up here. When everything was going on with Elon, I said from the beginning, anywhere between 7 to 9 cents I thought was the top for Doge. We got to 8, so it was within that freaking prediction. But like I was thinking genuinely when we kept banging on the door of 8 cents, I thought we would break it. The fact that we haven't now and we are getting this dump, if we do try it again, I think we will break it. I think we will. It's just inevitable in a sense. But like I say, I think maybe 9, 10 cents will be the limit. Previous to this and previous to Elon kind of, the Bitcoin announcement and all that, and it's kind of shown that obviously, like I said, you can listen to what rich people say, but look at what they do, because what they do is the way that they're moving, and that's the way that, if you're sensible, you should move as well. So, like, I had this number up here. I thought that's where ultimately everything went towards Doge's way, and everybody was buying in, and the hype was going. I thought we might see 14 cents, 15 cents max. But I don't think we're going to see that now. Like I say, I think max still maybe possibly 9 to 10 cents, but it just depends what happens now. It depends how strong are these hands, man. How diamond are the diamond hands, you know what I'm saying? Like I says, I didn't expect it to recover from this. So I won't write it off just yet because of the hype. The hype can take you to a certain place, but like I say, it'll only take you so far, and everybody needs to remember it's a pump and dump. People think that's a disrespectful term. It's not. Pump and dumps are great for making money, man. This is the thing. Pump and dumps are amazing for making money. You can get in on somewhere, make a quick buck, and get the fuck out, and make a nice, tidy profit as well. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I say, you've got to be ready to get out. You've got to have an exit strategy, because you don't want to be the dude left holding the bags when the music stops, and you're crying, and you've spent all your rent money, and then you're kicked out, and then the next thing you know, you're down a dark alley sucking off some homeless man, hoping that he's going to give you a cigarette. Not jokes, but Yo, Dead Orgies, what's going on, dude? Yeah, I agree. It's going to happen. Whether or not it happens today, in the coming days, however long this gets dragged out for, I can't see it getting dragged. The longer it gets dragged out for, the bigger the dump's going to become. Like I say, I think the thing that's holding this up at the minute is this wasn't so much a parabolic run like this. It was parabolic, but it stepped its way up. Bulls take the steps, bears take the freaking elevator. But at the same time, parabolic move like that, you're creating no levels of support all the way up. So when you're coming back down, you're creating no levels of resistance, sorry. So when you come back down, there's really not much in terms of previous price action to bounce off of. You know what I mean? Where, like, this time, there is a bit more previous price action. That's why it's kind of holding, because the other day, it really struggled around this area. And if you look, we did close a candle around here. So, it makes sense that it's kind of holding. I think if it breaks through here, we're going to see 6 cents in no time. If it breaks through 6 cents, I think we're just looking at 5.5. And then really the next real strong level is around the the 4, 5 to 5 cents, I think. And then I think once we break through that, you're looking back down to a 2 cent, 2.5 cent. If it, like say, if it really charges down and breaks through 2 cents, you're going back below a penny, easy. Like I say, I hope it's a little bit slower though for most people. I don't want to see people getting caught out. I really don't. But then I say, like, there's some people who've been scrupulously pushing it, and people have been trading off that idea that this is how trading works. And I think sometimes new people do need to learn a lesson that you can't. It's not you can make money really quick, and you can get rich quick, but you usually have to throw up a lot of liquidity and capital to do that. Which, you know, if you're doing that, you're mad, in my opinion. But some people do need to learn these lessons sometimes of buying high and getting caught out on these dumbs to realise, okay, this is not the way you make money. You know what I mean? Because I'm a little bit worried that there's a lot of people being bought in and think this is how trading works. You know what I mean? You just wait to hear that somebody's saying there's going to be a pump. There's going to be a pump. Oh, I'll buy that thing. That's not how you trade, man. You can't trade like that in the long run. You're going to get fucking wrecked. If you really want to do it as something, even if it's not a living for you, you know, you're not going to be looking to become a proper trader or an investor, but, you know, every now and again you're like, oh, I'm going to make a little bit of money. Be sensible with it, man. Learn your TA, learn fundamentals, learn how the market works, learn about simple things like supply and demand. The amount of people that don't seem to even understand the aspect of supply and demand is amazing to me. Like, I see people who've invested thousands of dollars into Doge as well, and then I see them on Twitter asking people, how do I sell? I don't even know how I sell the stuff, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? You've got balls, man. Like, you're putting all that money in, you don't even know how to use the app, let alone the fucking fundamentals of the old market. And 521 Doge, but I'm on a cent. Yeah, I had a couple of thousand, man. I can't remember exactly how many I had. I bought a few $100 worth round here. I got out round about here, and then I took a little slice of the profit that I got there. It was a nice little bit of profit, and I threw it back in here. It was only a little bag, really, but it was a decent little bit of profit, and I made a nice chunk of change coming out there, and now I'm done. Like, now, I told myself after this I wasn't getting back in, but this just looked too nice. And, like, you know, if you did it again, well, I'll probably be tempted to come back in again, but it's a sideline thing for me now. It's fun to watch. I ain't getting involved though. No, I am not. I'm not, dude. I need to though, man. I set up an account and everything for that back in the day, and I never fucking bothered with it, bro. Which, like, after some of the sales that I've seen some people doing, I'm like, fuck, bro. That's fucking crazy. I didn't think it was ever going to get to that point where you could make that sort of cash out of it. So I wish I had, man. Okay, hey, what's going on, Lum, that chicken? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? So yeah, as well, guys, if you are, like, just to an FYI, I will be hopefully getting some gaming content on it. If not today, later on tomorrow, hopefully. It's like I say, it's just, I'm super tired, man. You know what I mean? Like, because I've been up so late just lately, trading and stuff. Like, I just can't play video games, man. I try and get on a video game, and I can't do it. So I thought, you know what, we'll at least get live and we'll chill and we'll hang on the markets. Have I gone offline? That was weird. Are we back? Are we back? What's going on? Well, that's fine, isn't it? Is the stream back up? Why does it look so fucking... Why is it, like, buffering so hard? It says my connection's excellent. And my connection's okay. YouTube's even saying the connection's excellent. I don't know what happened there. I just went over to my dashboard and it says you're offline. I was like, what? Oh, error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Such views like... Experience buffering. Why? Is my internet fucking a bit? Hold up a second, guys. I'm just going to have to do a speed test. Give us a sec. Give us a second. It might get even more buffery here because we're running this. I don't know what's going on, though. I don't know why it's doing that. YouTube's saying my connection is excellent, but then it's saying it's shit, but... Like I said, I'm not gaming though, so I don't necessarily see any dips. I'm getting 200, 300 plus down, so my download's fine. Is my upload fucked down? Are we still live? Back. You're not been gaming. Right, trust me, dude. Ball runs, what's it? Could be actually, because I am streaming off Restream. I'm not streaming directly to YouTube servers because I was too lazy to take it off. I really should have. Like when I'm doing these directs. Yeah, it's not my internet. It must be Restream then. Hopefully that's okay now. Is it back to normal now, or is it laggy? Saying the connection's excellent again now. Hopefully it was just Restream taking a shit. Yeah, you're probably right, Reg. You're probably right. It's probably Restream. I really should have freaking just gone directly to the YouTube servers because I'm not on anything else. So I'm just lazy, man. All right then. So yeah. Doge has had a little dump. It's gone down nearly an entire cent. Like I say, Doge can do those moves, man. Where 12% in an hour or two. Which is nothing still, though. It could do double that in half the time if it really wants to. Ethereum just sitting under 1,750, kind of deciding what to do at the minute. I think we're going to trundle along a little bit here. I think we are going to have a break to the upside, hopefully. We could maybe break down and have a little bit of a retest of a lower high, dependent on what a bitty Bitcoin's doing at the minute. Like I said, I think Bitcoin's probably going to trade along this range for a little bit. Maybe I think we might have a little bit of sideways trading on Bitcoin, a little bit of consolidation before it really decides whether it's gonna pump up again, or maybe I think if we have a bit of consolidation, I don't think we're gonna come back down. We could, but I think we're probably gonna. I think we're gonna maybe a couple of days in this sort of range, maybe bouncing around here, and then maybe see some more upside. Hit 50k. I think once we break through 50k. I think we'll probably snap quite quick to 60 then, because I think 50k is going to be a psychological moment as well for a lot of people who decide to buy, because I think when people see 50k, that it's like a solid, it's like when someone gets to 10, you know what I mean? It's like 50k and 100k, I think they're those sort of numbers where people will be like, what? It's easy for people to start factoring in, percentile gains and all that sort of stuff then, and I think you'll have a lot of people who are, I'm buying some. You know what I mean? Like, especially when they see that, like, oh, it's gone from 20 to 40 and it's gone from 40 to 50, and then they're going to think, well, he's next up 100. And I think you'll have a lot of FOMO kicking back in then as well, especially if he does it a little bit slower. These sort of moves are great, and he pushes the top price up, of course, and it brings more buyers in. But because they move so fast in these situations, it kind of strangles the FOMO, because the people who miss the first couple of hours probably less likely to buy in on these sort of moves, where if you've got that gradual sort of like uptake, you've got a lot more time for people to FOMO in, which will then continue to push the price up. Like, that's why I say, I reckon that Doge really came through strong, because it was in a real bullish trend, but it was giving people more and more time to FOMO in. He was getting these little dips, it was creating little support and resistance levels, but also giving people chance to buy dips as well, where this didn't. That's why it burnt out so heavy. There was no dips really. You had this little bit, but there was no, wait for it to dip. So a lot of people who was probably waiting on the dips weren't buying. So then we burnt out. We had this massive dump. And then, like I say, I was surprised that it came back from that. I really was. Was anything mentioned from Elon round about here? Because I thought after these two consecutive lower highs, but we did have a higher low there though as well. So that kind of maybe broke the back a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, this part of Doge, this was a nice run on Doge. This was like something that's respecting the TA. If it wasn't Doge, if this wasn't Doge and it was like another asset, something that really was a good asset, like, and had good fundamentals and good value proposition and everything, I would have been fucking on board, man, to the moon rocket fucking phase, because if that had been an actual good asset. That's why I say, this is why, like, I was trying to explain to some people as well, like, if Doge was truly a good asset and it was truly gonna reach those values, with all the hype that's surrounding it, the fact that we're getting into alt season and you're starting to see alts pop, it shouldn't have fucking took so long. I know it's still holding up, but it shouldn't have took this long. It should have been continuing on, if it was really going to do something. But obviously, anybody who has looked into anything understands why Doge is not pumping. But like, that's why I can't understand why people don't get that. Like I said, I've been watching these streams and people just have this idea that if it's hanging around here, that's good. Where, obviously if you're not dumping, that's great. But you're only going to trade sideways for so long at these levels, It's one thing when you're trading sideways at these levels, but you're not going to for long, because at a point, once your percentages, especially with coins like Doge, once you go from doing 100% a day and 300% in a day down to 100% and down to 70% and 50% and 20%, and then once you start getting into the bit where you may be up 2% one day, down 1%, then up 2%, and then you're not really making any real gains, people will start to sell. Retail, they'll start to sell. They will. Obviously, it's all retail in Doge anyway. And it makes sense, because if you're making these sort of gains, people are going to continue to want to keep buying, and it's going to keep going. But like once you start doing this, the people who are already in are going to be like, well, it's going nowhere, so I need to start taking some profits. And then, like I say, when they do, you start to get that dump off, man. So like I say, I'm actually surprised that Doge held on for so long. I did think we might have seen it at 10 cent before we had this dip, but this dip's not terrible. It's still a higher low in the bigger lows. Like, so it could come out to this and continue up. It's just depending on how diamond these hands are that people have got. It really is. That like obviously Elon has held things up, but now it's the people who have faith in Elon, like who are holding it up now. And if you don't see any real gain soon, like if it comes back up and it sits around here again and then he's looking weak, people are going to start saying, and I don't know why they wouldn't. Like these people who think like, nah, man, Doge is a long-term thing. Just like I've been seeing people say that in YouTube chats, just buy some now and don't worry about it. And it's like, no, that's not good. Buy some then and don't worry about it, because, it ain't going down, really. It's got nowhere really to go down at these sorts of levels. You're nearly at fucking zero, you know what I mean? So the percentage, you might go down a little bit, but it's very unlikely. Like, your risk-reward at these sorts of situations is the best it can be, because you can get this sort of reward out of it. That's not this. Like, people who think that Doge is going to do what it's doing here like this, for weeks and months on end, that's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Assets don't really trade like that, especially in the cryptocurrency space. You know what I mean? So I feel for people who bought in up here, because I know they have. I've been seeing people buying yesterday. Like I says, that Doodoo is supposedly an expert, an investor. He tells to tell people he's there to help him. I'm sure he bought a freaking grand's worth again yesterday at this sort of level, and it's like, why? I don't understand why. People have got this idea that, these little purchases here and there are going to push it up even more. And it's not. It's not, because, like I say, the inflationary value, it doesn't even work like that way in Bitcoin. You got big amounts, multiple millions, but you're talking billions to move this now, just because of the market cap and how much it's moved. Like, to get that sort of movement in the market cap again, you're talking billions of dollars coming in, and just the inflationary way that Doge is, you're fighting a losing battle in a way, unless you get insane mass adoption. And that's what people don't realise. They think, oh, it's trending on the internet. And of course, the internet can do insane shit. But people have got to understand that people who looking at Doge on Twitter and thinking about investing is not the majority of people on the planet. You know what I mean? It's a smaller core of millennials. You know what I mean? And Gen Z are going to be getting into it, not fucking, average people. And I'm not saying that normies, won't be getting involved. But for the most part, they won't. You know what I mean? And even people who don't mess in markets are sensible enough to know that when an asset's up here, you don't fucking buy it. But the Doge crowd don't seem to look at that. And fair enough, I know there's people who are going to be like the GameStop stuff, where it's not really about money for them. It's about the movement, I guess. But like, this was a protest. The protest's over now in my eyes, because really, pumping Doge, obviously you can make bags, but it's not like you're fighting against an entity. This is a decentralized, well, it's not really, because of how many people own half the tokens. 20 people own half a Doge, so it's not really truly decentralized, but it's a decentralized application in the sense that, it's not like you're on GameStop trying to fuck over fucking Melvin Capital. You're not fucking over Melvin Capital by doing this. In the end, buying up here, you're fucking yourself over. And like I say, it's one thing if you've got extra money to throw at and you're buying in on a high to try and fuck over somebody like Melvin Capital or Wall Street. It's another thing if you're throwing in high on Doge in the hope that somehow your little £1,000 or even £10,000 or even £20,000 actually going to really make a difference on a market cap of what? 12 billion or something like that? It's the thing that people that don't realise, these little orders that are coming in now. Down here, when everyone was flooding in, makes a difference. Up here, it's like diminishing returns. The pool's getting wider and deeper, and every little bit you throw in's really affecting it less and less. Like we saw it with the Elon tweet, you know what I mean? Like I say, I think this was the first one, yeah. And look at that pump. It went from 2.8 up to like 4.7. You know what I'm saying? That was a big ass fucking pump off his tweet, man. I think that was round about where the first tweet was, 70%. And then, like, you know, we went into the other ones. I think this was another one. It was a 14%, which I know it did continue a continued uptrend. And then I think we had another one round about here, didn't we? Which, you know, 28%. So you've gone from 70% to 28%, and then, you know, 13%. And, you know, each one seems to be getting that little bit weaker and weaker. We had a couple here, but we was in an uptrend, really. And even in an uptrend, they had less return. You know, we had this one here that didn't give us any upswing, but just pretty much saved everybody from what I think was probably going to be the dump there. Because even after that tweet, it come back up and we still came back down again. But we seemed to round out here right on the trend line as well, which, you know, was respecting TA. Like I say, all the way up to here, you know. But we haven't broke to the upside now. Ascending triangle is typically quite bullish. You know, it doesn't mean you're always like a descending wedge. It doesn't always mean you're going to break to the upside. But more often than not, you break to the upside. And that's what this is all about. It's not being like, I know for a certainty that's the thing. It's been like, well, looking at previous trends, looking at my indicators, looking at the markets working, it's more likely that this is going to happen. Anybody who tells you that something's going to happen for a fact is lying. Because, you know, even the best traders can't guarantee trades. So, like, you know, we was in a bullish scenario, really, here. But we couldn't break it. We came back down, still in this ascending triangle. Couldn't break it. My idea was that we was going to go test again and probably break it after 4 times of trying to break through. Well, 5, including the previous high. It makes sense that we go up, but, yeah. It's not been a total breakdown, and it could be a bit of a fake out, maybe. If it has a strong surge back up, maybe it could save it, but it needs a strong surge back up in the next candle, which we're 15 minutes away from the close of this candle. And you can tell typically, usually when a coin's getting pumped, it happens when a coin's in an upsurge naturally, but when a coin's getting pumped like Doge, I've seen enough pump and dumps with other coins as well that's been going on lately. Typically, the last 15 minutes of the hour seem to be where it really surges up. So it's sometimes a good indicator to see the sort of buying power that's in there as well. Obviously, not just on the wicks, because that shows it as well, and obviously orders and everything, and just the price action. But I've noticed that, like, in these pump situations, we really do get this drive in the last 15 minutes or so. So this is kind of the time to tell now. And that wick's showing that there is a lot of buying pressure. There's still people willing to buy Doge here, which to me is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, fair play. Like, I respect the desire to make it something. But if you are genuinely in for this for profit, these are like, and buy the dips on options. Like, fuck me, I'm doing it on ADA. You know what I mean? People would look at who are like, you know, and be like, well, you're doing it there with ADA. And it's like, well, yeah, but this is an asset that, like, I'm bullish on. I think this has got potential upturn. This has done all of this without Elon Musk, without the Twitter behind it. This has done all of this with hype. You know, it does this naturally, but this sustained push is all hype. So it's you know, it's a different thing, man. So, like, I wouldn't be buying the dips here. You know, like, if you did buy this dip here, you know, you did all right. And you did buy this dip here, where, like, in hindsight, it would have been nice if I bought this dip, but I don't trust Doge enough in these sort of situations to have bought. That would have been a good time to buy him when he first tweeted, but at that point, I was like, I'm here for the ride. This is going to dump. And then we started this really bullish trend, like I was saying earlier, and that's when I was like, I'm in. And I got out just at the perfect time. I was out here, and nothing in this area here would make me want to buy in. If I was the type of person who's like, I'm going back in on Doge, I would have had to wait for this breakout on this ascending triangle, get some confirmation, and then I would have bought there. You know, if we'd have broke out, back tested, got a nice little bit of confirmation with some volume, I would have probably purchased just as a little fuck around. But I think even if it did break out to the upside now, I probably wouldn't mess with it. Because, like I say, now we've seen this other dump as well. I think we really are getting to the point where we're going to see some rapid downtrends. And you could get into a situation, get that confirmation, get the volume. It looks strong. You start to move up, and then bang, you cover double the ground on the way down that you did on the way up, and you bought there, and you're fucking in the red already. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't touch this with a barge pole now, personally. The only way I would is if it did break out, but even then, that's super risky. Doge is super risky anyway. The only time Doge ain't risky is when you buy it down here. That's like that with any asset, really. The only time it's not risky is when you buy down here. Worst thing that happens is it just continues doing what it's doing, and you fetch your money out later and you're like, well, I got the same that I fucking did. I suppose in a way, it's a hedge against inflation. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is not a good time to be a bull, in my opinion, on Doge, and you're risking it a lot. Like I say, lots of buying pressure though. This is an incredibly bearish freaking move, but it depends if we can come out at the next hour, come out stronger, maybe try and go for a higher high. Whether it can make a higher high though, you know, that's a different answer. Slap that down and see if we can break through this higher high. Really, when you look at that there, it was in a descending triangle, which is bearish. When you think about it, if you go from, if you're going from the wick to the candle though, kind of going from those wicks as well. We're just cutting that one out. So like really, you are in a descending triangle there. So it could have bumbled a bit and then dumped. So yeah, man. Curious to see what happens over the next couple of hours with Doge. You know, it could be back up here in a couple of hours. It could be fucking down here in a couple of hours, man. Your guess is as good as mine at this point, if I'm honest. I wouldn't even like to... I wouldn't be a betting man on Doge at the minute. Like I say, the way things are, it could flip either way. It's coming down at some point, and it's going to come down hard. But at the moment, like I say, I wouldn't fucking bet on it. I was adamant it was done after this fucking shit, and it wasn't, obviously. And the fact that it's still, even after this dump, and it's still hanging, surprising. It truly is surprising. Link still just cruising kind of thing, quite wavy, but continuing to make higher lows and higher highs for the most part. In terms of the major highs, we are making higher highs with, you know, these little bits in between, but in terms of the big highs, the higher, the big lows, the higher, that's still really good. We are coming towards this ascending triangle here along this trend line. It's not the best trend line. I'm going to roll with it though. It seems to be kind of respecting it at the moment, so why change it? So let's see what happens. Could break down, but to me, I think we're going to continue up, man. I think once we break out of here, I think we could snap to $30 quite quick, and then we'll see what Link is capable of in terms of making moves, because so far Link's not really been the fastest. This was a decent move. You know what I mean? But it really does a decent move, and then it really has to like consolidate a bit. But that's healthy though. It's healthy. You know what I mean? You're creating many levels of resistance, which obviously will become levels of support. So you know, it's looking good, man. It's looking good. It's just slow. It's kind of boring. That's the only problem. It's just a boring one. Like, you know, you've got some charts where you're like, yeah, that's healthy. But you're like, that's fucking boring, man. You know, sometimes those parabolic moves are like, fuck, but they're not sustainable and they're not healthy. So it looks like ADA did come up to test this level around here. It's kind of rejected, kind of expected. Like I said, I think we'll bumble around here, maybe come down to around about 66 cents, and then I think we're going to try for a breakout. Yeah, that was Chainlink, that was, yeah. I got in early on Chainlink last year, but then I sold it, but then I got in at a dip again on Chainlink. I think I got back in around here. It was somewhere on one of these dips anyway. I got in at a decent price, and I bought a little bit more. I think it was around about, I can't remember actually, somewhere around the $12 to $15 mark. So Chainlink's been not too bad for me, but it's just slow. You know, like I say, we had these really good moves. It's just kind of boring, but I think we're going to have some good uptrend. I think by the end of this run, I think $50 is attainable. Some people are saying, a lot of people are saying $100. I've seen a lot of people say $100 for Link. It's just, it needs to, if it's going to do that, it needs to really, you know, pull its socks up and make some nice moves without too much consolidation after them, because it really does like to, you know, make a good uptrend, and then it likes to just consolidate a little bit, doesn't it? Get some lower lows, some lower highs, bottom out, and then reverse trend again. It's pretty much what it's done the whole way up, hasn't it? But like I say, it looks good. It means we're not going to fucking dive if we do take a dump. Is that Algorand? I think I was looking to maybe get into that before, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. It was up 10% today. Nice. I did have some EOS before, because I thought EOS, looking at the charts, I thought EOS was capable of doing something, but it wasn't. I wish I'd have got into fucking Elrond as well, man. Elrond, Arve, that's another one. I missed out on Arve. I've been thinking about getting into BNB as well. BNB's been making insane moves just lately. That looks nice. It's made some serious moves, actually, hasn't it? I think it definitely needs his consolidation here, because it was getting it was getting to the point where it looked like this was possibly going to fucking have a reversal there. Yeah, man, it still looks good though. Getting some lower highs there, but we're in almost. You could argue. I guess I wouldn't really put my bank on that, but like, you know, I think we might see continuation to the upside there. Yeah, I've got some VeChain. Yeah, I got some VeChain. I got in VeChain earlier. I got some of the VeThor tokens as well. I thought I just capped a bunch of them also, man, just in case they popped when VeChain popped. It looks like selling pressure's reduced. It looks like the MACD's trying to cross back over, possibly. Obviously, it's a lagging indicator, but it's trying it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it looks like we might be coming to a point where we might attempt to continue to the upside. This was building really. It's like so this consolidation was needed. We had these powerful moves up here, but pretty much from here we've been building bearish divergence, in really. So I think this kind of reset it really to a degree. That's probably why we haven't dumped hard, but yeah, I looks quite good, man. It looks like we might be having a bit of. We've got a lot of volume here, so I think the possible breakout looking quite good. I think we'll see some more continuation to the upside there. I don't really know much about the asset though, man, so I won't even like to think what it could be price prediction wise, like, you know what I mean. But looks good, looks decent, man. It's one of them at the minute. I think it's just it's had that little run. It's just trying to cool down a little bit now to see what happens. But yeah, this is VeChain at the minute. VeChain's looking good. Like I say, for me, for a little bit, VeChain's been one of those where I've been a little bit disappointed with his performance. I thought it would have popped a little bit quicker, but it's you know, it doesn't look bad at all, does it, man? You know what I mean? If you got in 2020, which I can't even remember when I bought, I'll have to look in my transactions. I can't remember it. I've had it for a while, but I think it was this year that I got into VeChain, so I missed out on a bunch of that. It was early on in the year though, so I think I'm probably going around about these sort of areas. I think, but yeah, if you'd have got in last year, man, you know, you've been a nice little bit of profit, really. To be fair, what sort of moves that we're talking? Oh, man, it's 250%. It's been over a consistent move though, isn't it? So I do still think VeChain's got some definite room for the upturn. Yeah, I'm still quite bullish on VeChain, really, if I'm honest. See what happens. What's it doing? It's the gas tokens, isn't it? VTHO for VeChain, I think. Man, it's up 61% today. When the fuck did that happen? Holy shit. I didn't even know that had happened. I'm sure I looked yesterday. It was up like 8% or something. Holy fuck. It doesn't look spectacular though, does it? What's it looking like on the 4 hour? That's had a pump overnight though. I just came to say hi. So I got no worries, no. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Pampy. We do have bearish divergence though, so whether or not that's been broken by this little reversal, that could have broken the bearish divergence, but it's still kind of there. We'll see. We was overbought. We're back beyond that now, so there was definite bearish divergence there, but like we have had a little bit of a correction. Well, I'll say a little bit. This is quite a decent correction that was, wasn't it? Actually, we were corrected 25%, so that might be nullifying that bearish divergence. Now we'll have to really see over the next hour or two, I think, is the bearish divergence on the 4 hour. A little bit. Like I say, I feel like it might have been reset by that previous little dip. It's definitely on the 15-minute though, so there might be another little small correction. Maybe might see another little come down. Hopefully we don't continue that though. If it can drop down a little bit without creating a new lower low, maybe we can see a continuation to the upside. But it's all dependent on how VeChain goes as well, isn't it? That really, because I think that I believe anyway, it is intrinsically linked in a sense. But then again, it's not, because VeChain ain't gone up 60% overnight. So I don't know. I need to look into it a little bit more if I'm honest. That I think it is though. It is the gas. It is used as the gas tokens in it for VeChain. I don't, dude. It's one asset that I kind of went in a little bit blind on. VeChain is, if I'm honest. I don't know. I don't know. Is it a little bit like Is it? I don't know. Is it supposed to be a little bit like Link in the sense it's supposed to be Link pairing blocks together, chains together? I could be wrong. No, I'm not 100% sure. If I'm honest, dude. It's one asset like that I've got invested in that I didn't really. I kind of went off opinions of other people on that one. I was straight up like, I heard other people talking about it. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll grab something cheap. That's one thing you'll get from me with this stuff, guys. I'll always be truthfully honest. Like, I'm a degenerate. I really don't know that much in the grand scheme of things. I'm quite new in terms of trading. I'm new in terms of investing as well to a degree. And like, I'm not going to be that dude that's ever like, pretending, oh yeah, I know about that, yeah. Like, rags some of the stuff I've fucking invested in. Originally, Litecoin, when I first invested in Litecoin, that's when I very first bought some of my stuff back in the day, when me and Rosie first decided to grab some crypto. Obviously, I grabbed Bitcoin and Ether. I'd had a little look into that, did a little bit of research. I did a little bit on Chainlink, grabbed some Chainlink, but Litecoin was literally, I said to Rosie, I was like, you pick a coin. And she was like, that one. And it was like, it turned out to be all right, because like 150% up on it, man. Oh, no. Yeah, 150% up on it. It's the QR codes on the side, the wine bottles you buy, so you know what. Oh, okay. So it acts as like a info and tracking sort of thing, kind of thing, like. Because which one is it now that's supposed to be working with? I think it might be the UK and the NHS, because I know there's one that blockchain that's dealing with the tracking when it comes to the COVID vaccines, I believe. Yeah, over here. I think that's the case. I don't know which one it is. I don't know what blockchain it is. It's applied, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty similar to that. I don't know which this coin was though, but that price is basically the same thing, but it does it for COVID vaccines, pretty much. Is it VeChain that's doing that as well? Is it VeChain that's doing that as well then? But yeah, I looked into the fundamentals on VeChain. So when will Amazon buy Bitcoin? That'd be fucking insane if Amazon did buy or invest in Bitcoin. What the fuck? Someone's cooking Cheetos in a pan. It's got to be American. It kind of looks actually quite nice. So it's that Cheetos. Cooked Cheetos over pasta. Mac and Cheetos. I'm kind of tempted to try that, the Cheetos actually look quite nice when they were fucking cooked up in the pan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been doing more fundamental research just lately, but I ain't really had time because I've just been constantly on the market. Every time I'm like, I'm going to take a couple of hours to have a look at some stuff I don't really know about, or investigate some new stuff. Like I will take a little bit of time actually though to look at that attire stuff, because that really interests me. That does. Whether or not it's going to have intrinsic value, I like the idea behind it. So I might just, sometimes I think with these early adoptions, like if you're staking in on something or whatever, you know, or you're deciding to get in really early when it's price discovery, you know, I think it's down to like whether you think it's a cool project and you know, if you think it's got some capability, rather than it being like, I know this is going to be profitable kind of thing. You got to make that speculation sometimes, ain't you, to get in it super early before like proof of products kind of like out there. Oh, really? Is he? I'm locked up, don't let me out. Lycon's making a nice move there. This area is definitely, obviously, it's going to be because it was a previous high. That what I was gonna say, that wasn't its all-time high though, was it actually? Because it did get up to. Oh, was it? I thought we had a previous high just slightly before that. I thought we got up to. That must have been that. I was just about to say. I thought we got up to 185. I didn't realise it was that close. I thought it was a bit further back actually. Yeah, it seems like Bitcoin is kind of in a bit of a consolidation mode, and it seems like it's trying to trade sideways a little bit now. Like I say, if you do see a correction on the price, hopefully it's not too severe. Maybe come back down to 42, and then try again. But a little correction wouldn't hurt really. Some sideways trading would be nice though, because it will really give altcoins a chance to go. Yo, fucking hell, BNB's not stopping. I kept saying the other day I should have gone in, man. Fucking, it's up another chunk, 42% today again. Like I need to learn about this one as well, because this is apparently it's supposed to have some really good fundamentals. Because it's Binance's own thing, innit, this BNB. You've got the stable coin, the BSUD, which is their stable coin, but now this is theirs, isn't it? So, yeah, that Tesla news yesterday has just kind of held back the rest of the market, apart from Ethereum. Kind of held back the rest of the market a little bit, didn't it? Because the market was just like, whoa, when Bitcoin makes those sort of moves, unless it's a fucking dump, you know, altcoins typically kind of like retract back a little bit, don't they? Like, it's best for altcoins when Bitcoin gets itself into a nice strong position and consolidates for a little while, then it allows, you know, money really to start flowing into altcoins. Like for me, I really should have jumped in, man. Like when it was down here, I was looking at it, you know, like it's fucking pumped, man. It's pumped over the last fucking week. You know what I mean? Since the second, man. No, actually, that's 2nd of February. I was gonna say, am I reading that wrong now? Yeah, man. Since the second, last 7 days, motherfucker's gone from fucking $44 to 105. Fucking hell, and that is pumping, man. Jesus Christ. That's one of them ones, though, man. At this point, you missed the fucking boat, didn't you? You know, we were 160%. It's still got room for more, but like it says, when it comes to them sort of trade, that's a what's it for me? It's a no now. Like I say, it might continue to the upside, but you're buying in these sort of situations, you're buying off FOMO, really, yeah, you know what I mean? You are buying off FOMO in the sense that, we could go more though. But you know, you're trading on hope then, really. Like I said, I'd have to look into things. I don't really truly know what the value of this is. I've heard some people talking about it on Twitter, talking about that it's really good, but I don't know its fundamentals to understand what its value should be. But it ain't fucked around, man. Like, it is not fucked around. It has absolutely been going since fucking the new year. Like, if you'd have got in at what? Start of February, $40. You know, obviously, alt season kicked in, I think, as well. That's probably a reason why. But, you know, if you'd have got in what? Let's say you got in just after Christmas. $26. Damn, bro. It's like, what, 400%? Yeah. That would have been a nice asset if you got in early. That definitely. For me though, that's one to just watch now I don't know if I think BNB they got them on perpetuals on this. Maybe one to short once it starts to confirm a downtrend. Maybe short it a little bit, but I wouldn't be shorting anything right now. Like I say, that's what I was talking about. If you're losing money, that's probably what you're doing at the minute. You're trying to short stuff in a bear market. I was looking at this stuff before. Is this one that got such super low market cap? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I've been seeing some people like I think it's because a lot of these dudes are investing in Doge though at the top. Like on that stream that I was in yesterday, people talking about I've lost 8k, I've lost this, man. I just lost 500 quid last night. I'm like, how are you losing this much money in a bull market, bro? It's a fucking bull market, man. The only time you're losing money in a bull market is if you're betting against the fucking odds. Like, I think what a lot of people do in bull markets as well, obviously, depending on the asset, people are buying and they see a tiny little correction and then they sell and then they chase the fucking the profit, don't they then? But, man, that's had a run into you. Fucking hell. Man, look at that volume spike there. A volume spike really started that run off, didn't it, man? And it carried on for a while. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, that has had a good run, isn't it? Is this... I'd say it probably is quite natural, isn't it, actually, though? Because if this was a pump, like an organised pump, I think we would have seen a lot higher and this trend would not have continued because that's over the pace of 2 days, a day. The pumps typically don't work like that. So that fucking soul, that's been making some moves, man. Some serious moves. Around here would have been your time, wouldn't you? So done from its low to its high. 500%. Yeah, it's definitely missed the boat on that one. That sort of point, man, you're fucking playing with fucking fire if you decide to start buying in there. So yeah, that all looks quite good, man. Well, it's done good. It's definitely not looking so appetizing now, that's for sure. Everyone's gone and mentioned his channel died. I don't really stream anymore, dude, on YouTube. I stream on Twitch. I'm just doing this because I do gaming stuff on YouTube. I won't worry about it, dude. Don't stress about it, man. If you've been around for a while, it ain't gonna be affect you, is it? You know what I'm saying? What did you say? Fucking hell, has this been pumped? 120% over the day. This has been pumped, innit? This. Has this been a victim of a pumpity pump group, huh? But yeah, dude, I'm probably gonna start streaming a little bit more on YouTube, but it's not gonna be gaming stuff. I'll probably restream some of my gaming streams over here, but I'm probably gonna maybe cater to a little bit more crypto stuff, man. On my YouTube channel now, actually, because I'm really enjoying it. Plus, yeah, that's been pumped. That's definitely been pumped, bro. Look at that fucking wick. Holy shit. Has this been done by one of them groups? Because I follow one of them groups on Telegram, because these ones are scammers, them, and they're proper scammers, but I like to just follow them. I wish they'd let me fucking speak in the group so I could call them a bunch of cunts. But I ain't allowed to talk in the group. Yeah, that looks like a pumpity pump to me. But then again, though, that is over the space of 2 days, though, so maybe not. Let's have a look at the early, actually. We are looking at... Yeah, that's... Yeah. I'd say that was a pump and dump, man. Where are we? Oh, shit. I'm fucking hiccups. Oh, have they kicked me out that group? They might have, actually. I did send one of the people a message on a DM. Or did I leave that group, actually? I can't remember if I did. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think these dudes did, actually. It seems like they've got a pump plan for tomorrow. They postpone that, I don't know. Looks like it's been pumped, though. It doesn't look like that was a... Like it just decided to... I was just looking at that. What's it? That's at a world ride, isn't it? That's Sol. That's the one I was just looking at. Yeah, I was just looking at this one. This has been on a world ride. This is the same one, yeah. Yeah, Solana, yeah. Yeah, man, this has been on a world ride. This has, dude. This has been an insane move. If he was in down earlier on this would have been a nice bloody earner. That would have. I think, what was it? 500%, yeah. 700%. Fucking hell. Yeah, that train's gone and came back, and it's been cleaned now. So I ain't getting on that one.
Special with Tesco finest 30-day matured British sirloin steak.
But yo, congratulations to anybody who got in this sort of mark, man, or even down here. Well, fuck hell, even here. You know what I mean? If you got even here, you know, you had that dump, but you fucking hell, from that high, man. What would you have got in like there? You know, still fucking 20-odd%, like, you know, 20% is 20% at the end of the day. You can't fucking scoff at it. But lots of bearish divergence for quite a while now. I don't know if it's just going to battle against that, but like, you know, on the hourly, it's got decent. You gonna let me draw? Decent bit of bearish divergence there, so you know it looks like it's starting to get a bit of. It did have a bit of a price correction there, so that might have, you know, but was still a weak RSI. So I think that's looking for it's looking like it's probably going to correct. Maybe. Whether it dumps, I don't know. I don't know enough about this really to even say. I think we're probably going to have a bit of a price correction, and then your guess is as good as mine really. I need to look into that a little bit more. But chart, it's had a good run. It's had a real good run. Nice ride up as well. Nice healthy ride up, you know what I mean? No crazy fucking just parabolic. Well, it's parabolic, but you know, no just... what's he? Why can't I chat pics? What do you mean? What's going on? Turntable. What do you mean? Okay. What was you trying to talk prior to that or something? Why don't you talk? I can see a comment. I was having. What was happening? I've been having that the last couple of days on YouTube though, on a couple of channels when I've been typing in the chat. It's just been, it's just been like erroring, and like the comment goes out, but it just goes grey. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Been telling. Oh yeah, I think you're getting the same issue as I was getting, man. Said hi about 5 times. Well, hi. How you doing, man? You all good? What are you saying? Check out Uma, yeah? Let's have a look. Did on mine, yeah. Small market cap. So these small market cap gems do have massive potential for mass gains, man. I think I might have looked at this before, maybe. Holy fucking Nora. Jesus Christ, bro. Yeah. I think if you haven't took profit now, I think that's one to get out of, really, you know. But then again, though, it depends what it does here. We're getting these consistent lower highs, but at the same time, a nice rounding off action. Found a low here, and now we've got into getting higher lows. So, you know, that's a big move, and I wouldn't really like to trade that at the minute with 356% gain. You're still 193% up from the previous prices, but I can't deny that's not a bad, like, you know, that's not a bad movement there, really. You know, it's come down below the EMAs, but it hasn't dumped off them. It's trying to hold, so that it's a bit of an hard one for me, man. That is, like I say, I don't like some of these. Like I said, don't know nothing about the project. I can't say shit on the fundamentals and what they're worth and what the possibilities are and what the dev teams are like and everything, the community, all that sort of stuff. But insane growth. Come back down on a correction, but that, like, you know, if this was this sort of move round here and you'd come off a high and you was coming back round and this was down here, I'd probably buy on that sort of situation. But like I say, without knowing much about the project there, I don't know what it's actually capable of, but that doesn't look bad. Like, you know, look, we got this wick down here, showed a bit of buying pressure. We've stalled off now. We're getting higher lows here, depending on what happens here, really. We're getting higher lows, so you know, it doesn't look fucking terrible, man. You know what I mean? There's at first I was like, yeah, man, I'd take out to that, and it still could, like, at the minute it's kind of in a pricing decision, really. It's deciding which way it wants to go, but those sort of moves could really show some more move to the upside, but like, that's not a good freaking candle at the moment. Definitely not. It's really in indecision mode, man. You know what I mean? You don't know which way it wants to go just yet. So, yeah, man. It's had a good fucking run, though. It's had a good run. If you got in early, that's been a nice asset, man. So, GG to anybody who got into that early. I wouldn't fucking touch it at the minute, though, personally. And if I was still invested, I'd probably be at least taking a good portion of profits to see what happens. But, yeah. If it continues to get some higher lows here, maybe it could be something that you could get into. But it's just, I think after a 300% run and being at 150% higher than the bottom, you're still in very risky waters there, really. But it's fucking, that's had a fire move. That has a fire move. I'm doing good, thank you, dudes. I'm doing very. You've just been looking at low market. It's a way to go, dude, man. That's why you can make some serious gains. Like, obviously you can find a lot of duds, but like, you know, if you can find market caps where they're like a couple of 100 million, under 100 million, you know, that's where you can see those moves where obviously pump and dumps can really affect them, but you don't want that to happen, really. You know, that's where those are the sort of markets you can get those fucking 100x's, can't you? Because, you know, there's such a small market, any sort of major money coming into it will make it fucking fly. Like, you know, when you're talking a market that's, I don't know, let's have a look here. What's the smallest market cap? I think it's like Love Potion, in it on this. What's the smallest market cap? Yeah, small Love Potion. So this sort of fucking market cap, you can quadruple 10 times, 20 times these sort of market caps, and it's nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is like what I was trying to explain to some people when it was coming to Doge, and they was like, nah, we could do that with Doge. And it's like, well, dude, it's easy to... well, it's not easy, but it's a lot easier to 10 times a million, 10 million. You know what I mean? But when you're getting into the billions and billions and billions, it gets a lot harder to fucking... whatchamacallit, you know... We dropped back down to like 8.6 to 7 million. I think at the highest, its market cap reached about 13 billion, didn't it? Doge. So, like, you know, when you get into them sort of numbers, man, unless you've really got a good product and over years to get to that, people seem to think that this is going to go from 8 to 100 billion in like a year. Like, get out of here, man. Fucking took Bitcoin 10 years to be worth $600-700 billion. Took the whole entire market 10 years to get to $1 trillion. The idea that Doge is going to get to levels that would make it worth more than the entire market cap of crypto now is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because like to get to the prices that some people are talking about, Doge would have to have a bigger market cap than the entire crypto space, which somehow don't think is going to happen. Ooh, we have had a real dump here now. We're at 6 cents, guys. 6 cents. It's coming down slower, though, than I thought. This is a level of support here. A small level of support, but it's definitely there. There was a little bit of resistance, a little bit of support here. So, is he going to hold there, attempt to come back? Is he going to build a wick, slow down? I'm looking at it. I think we're going to have continuation to the downside. Maybe hold, I said we maybe hold around 6.1 earlier, didn't I? I said 6 cents. If you come down below this, I reckon 6 cents is the next. If you break that, we're looking at 5.3. And then after that, I think really... You know, if you're going down that hard, you're probably going to break through both of these. Even though these are strong support levels, which it could find support there. It really could. There's no reason why it wouldn't. You know, when it's starting to come down that fast, it might just smash through them like it didn't fucking there, man. I knew you wouldn't have to eat my shoe. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, what did you say? If you got to 10 cents, you'd eat your shoe. Yeah, like I said, I thought we were kind of at our right. I do still think, even now, there is the possibility of some uptrend. It's like I say, once we started to get into this momentum, Obviously, keep banging at the 9 set, the 8.2 is, you know, more and more chance to break through. But we're at this point now where the momentum is, you know, the Twitter. This is Twitter, you know, and then dipped off, and then this is Elon, hold, trending, and now we're getting to this point now where trending's falling off. Elon's not tweeting, and then he's just gonna, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like people speaking and talking about it. And once that trending goes, majority of people are going to get the fuck out. There's going to be a lot of people now, unless they're diamond hand guys, and don't ever be that guy, like, you know, like, unless you're for a movement thing. I get it with a short squeeze on Wall Street, that was different. People were willing to lose money to make a statement. That is, you're not making a statement to anybody here. Like, this was a protest purchase. At this point, you're only making a statement to yourself, and that you believe that it can get to that point, and you want to vindicate yourself in getting to that point, which that's never a way to trade. You know what I mean? At this point, majority of people are going to be looking at this going, I need to sell. Do you know what I'm saying? Where, like I've been saying for days, if you haven't took profit here, like, I'm not telling people to sell. I'm not going to suggest anybody does anything. Me personally, I got out up here. But if I would have still been in, if I was trying to hold on for hopes, if I was that person that was hoping, which I would never do that, I wouldn't trade on hope. If I was hoping it was going to go higher, I would have still took a good portion of profit. I would have at least took my initial investment and just left the profit then to see what happens with it. Because you don't want to let FOMO fuck you out in the idea that, bro, if it goes higher, I can make another grand. And it's like, dude, would you rather take what you've got now or lose everything? And people really need to understand that greed will fuck you, man. And I think with retail, greed comes with it. Because it's easy to get greedy in the markets. It is. You know, you see an asset go up 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's easy to get greedy. And like, well, it can do it again. It can do it again. But a lot of people don't seem to understand the markets. Diminishing returns. There's always a ceiling. And it's always going to come back down. You know what I mean? And I think when people don't necessarily, not like, say, I've seen people saying we're going to have £1,000 Doge, $1,000 Doge. People saying it's going to be worth more than Bitcoin, and it's like, like, dude, I wish it would be for you. I wish it would be for me, because fucking hell, I buy a fucking 20, fucking 30, I buy a fucking 500,000 right now if I knew that, but like that ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been warning people for days. I got banned in a chat the other day, trying to warn people because they're fucking cultists, and then they tried to chat shit, so I told them to fuck off. So I got banned on that, but I don't care. I know it's not exactly very professional, but you guys know me, I ain't professional. But like, I hate the fact that there was people making streams trying to tell people that just hold, guys, just hold, buy more, buy the dips, every dip, buy more. We're going to the moon. You know, Daddy Elon's got our back, man. People talking about, you know, them looking at the #1 wallet and deciphering transactions via the amounts and trying to say Elon's talking to us and stuff. It's just like, oh my god, you stop telling. Like, have that crazy idea on your own, man, but don't fucking make streams and act like you know what you're talking about and telling people to do the same, because you're gonna fuck so many people. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is kind of like going to where I even said earlier, didn't I? We might see this downturn, come to around about this sort of area, and maybe try again. Still a big possibility, but you know, you're in a realm there where it's dump city, or you're gonna try again here. It's a rough place to be in now. If you bought up here, I feel for you, I do. And you should never buy in these sorts of situations. That's what I say. Don't let FOMO get you. When someone's done a few 100%, it's over, man. When you're talking anything, really, even like 50, 100% moves, wait for dips after them sort of moves. But when you're talking multiple hundreds of percent, I wouldn't even worry about buying dips, because you're not in a point where you're dipping and going back up. You're at the peak, man. You're at the peak then. Yo, Royston! What's going on, bro? How's it going? Yeah, yeah. Well, I wouldn't even say it's a scam stream. I think they're just fucking idiots. They're dumb. You know what I mean? Like, the one dude, well, I'll tell you this. I was watching him for a few days, right, this stream. And at first, the one dude's a bit of a dingbat, the dude who's streaming. He's a bit of a dingbat, like. But I thought, like, these guys are all right, man. They seem harmless. They don't seem to know anything about fucking crypto. You could, like, because you could just tell, like, just little simple things. Like I said, I'm fucking illiterate in the sense of when it comes to crypto. I'm learning, and I'm learning fast, and I'm sticking my head into the books, and I'm grinding. And I believe I am trading in the right sense at the minute, because I'm up massive amounts at the minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing something right. But like I say, it's hard to fucking lose money in a bull run. But these guys are just, like, they're just totally unknowledgeable, you know what I mean? They seem to think that lack of market cap makes something more valuable. That's the opposite of basic economics. That's basic, take away market, basic economics, supply and demand. The less supply, the more demand, price goes up. take easy analogy. You've got 10 families and you've got 8 houses. Those 8 houses now can be sold for more because you've got more people competing for less resources, where if there was 10 houses and 8 families, the houses would be cheaper because they'd have to compete to get you, where when there's less of the product, you've got to compete to get the product, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't understand that. And like they were trying to say they've been doing it since 2012. And I asked the dude, I was like, oh, what? Because he's got a fat setup in his room. I asked the dude, I was like, what's your average P&L then? You know what I mean? And if you don't know, which for people, that's fine not to know that. P&L's your profit and loss, which, you know, that's fine not to know. But if you're trying to expose that you know what you're talking about, you should know fucking basics. And I asked him what his P&L was. And I know he didn't know because he kind of was like, he read my question word for word. It was like P&L, like, and then I seen him like kind of try and make out that he was talking about something a second. Then I seen him turn to his keyboard, type in, and I knew he was on Google because then his face white up light because he was on Google. And then he was like, oh, my P&L, my profit and loss. And he didn't even answer it anyway. I was like, because I don't think he really knew, even though he read that it was profit and loss, what profit and loss is. You know what I mean? And then straight from then, I was like, this dude does not know what the fuck he's talking about, amongst a bunch of other things, like, you know what I mean? Watching his TA. Their literal idea of TA was sitting with the screen on the minute fucking chart with no TA. They'd just sit there like that, and they'd be like, oh, it's going back up, guys. It's going back up. Like, this situation here, they'd be like, oh, it's going back up. It's looking good, guys. This is great. This is great. This is great, guys. This is great. But then they've got this other dude in the call with them, because there's like a bunch of them in the Discord, and he's sitting there, because there is, just explain this to people who don't know. You got Doge, right? You got like over 100 million in circulation, 5 billion get added to it every year. But there's one wallet that owns 27% of all the Doge in circulation, right? So you're talking around about 100 billion, so around about 27 billion or something like that is freaking Doge in one wallet, and then over 50% of all the Doge in circulation is owned by 20 wallets. So 20 people own over half of the market of Doge, which, if that isn't a red flag to you, I don't know what is. That's scary that 20 people own half of the fucking market, that because they could do what they want to the market, right? You know what I'm saying? But this one wallet, a lot of people have been suggesting that it could be Elon Musk, which possibility it could, you know what I mean? Could have just done it for banter, expensive banter, which, you know, I wouldn't put it past somebody like Elon Musk. He's the richest man in the world, so, you know, he can fuck around with a couple of bill if he really wants to. But people fail to realise as well, just because somebody's worth 170 bill, they haven't got 170 bill in the bank. That's assets, that's businesses, that's all of the capital together, you know what I'm saying? And people forget that a lot of the time. But they're adamant. They're not saying it might be. They're saying it is Elon. We know it's Elon Musk. We know it's... And what's happening is trades are going through this wallet. Now, don't get me wrong. The trades are a bit weird that are going through. But these trades are going through this wallet, which to me is probably more gifted trades being put into the wallet rather than actual movement of money. And dude was saying, freaking... my favourite film's National Treasure, man. I'm really into code breaking and all that sort of stuff. And he's trying to say that he's looking at the transactions, the numbers, and deciphering that Elon Musk is talking to them, not everybody, them in stream, that he's been watching the stream and he's sending secret messages to them about what's going to happen. He was trying to say that in one of the messages, it was pointing to a price point in the freaking chart. And it's like, dude, even if Elon Musk was fucking around, he can't control the market to that degree, you fucking nut job. You know what I mean? You fucking nut job, like full on nut job. And the rest of them, they're just idiots. Like the one dude in the call, he seems kind of chill. Like he seems like a nice guy, but he knows fuck all. Like he really knows fuck. None of them know fuck all. Like, and like I says, I've watched him probably 3 or 5 days worth of streaming, and the stream for hours, like multiple days sometimes without going offline. And I think I've seen him do TA once, and his TA consisted of, we had a bit of a fucking pattern, and he was like, look, you know what I mean? He did a nice little symmetrical triangle, and obviously I know that's not, but you know, pretend, and that was his TA that he did. They're just fuckers, man, fuckers, and they just won't listen as well. People are trying to give advice. I wouldn't mind if they was totally ignorant, but they're pushing people to buy. You know what I mean? They're pushing people to buy. So Yeah, the max supply is unknown. It's just that 5 billion get printed every year, don't they? I think, what is it, 10,000 per block is the reward, isn't it, for Doge? It takes 1 minute and 10 seconds to mine a block on Doge, so you're constantly fighting about that flow coming in, you know what I mean? It's like in a situation, you're trying to expose that this thing's valuable and, you know, get it while you can get it all the time. New shit's flooding into the market. It's different from the dollar in the sense that it's a controlled deflation and it's a slow deflation. If you have enough people coming in, it will offset that deflation and cause an increase in price. But there's nowhere near enough people to be doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, it was inevitable. It was inevitable. It was like Thanos. You know, like I say, I'm not even saying this is the dip, the dump, should I say. This could be a dip. Like I said earlier, we might see a little bit of this sort of action and then attempt to rally and maybe go for 10 cents. It's still possible. But at this point now, there's going to be a lot of scared people. If this doesn't snap back up, people are going to start selling. We do have a little level of support there, which I didn't really notice there, man. And it's kind of trying to hold that. It's wicked down to this previous level of support, and the candle's holding around this sort of level. I guess we'll have to see what happens at the end of the hour. You know what I mean? We got 25 minutes left. Let's see how it. Oh shit! It's fucking 25 to 5. I gotta go. I gotta go. You know. It's 25 to 5, man. I was just about to say it's 25 to 4. We'll see how it goes. I need to go, man. I'm late to pick Rosie up. So yeah, thank you very much for hanging out, guys. I do appreciate it. I'll be back a little bit later for some more. Hopefully come and hang out, guys. Really do appreciate you all coming through. I will see you all later. And remember, stay safe. Make sure you're not fucking around with too much money, guys. And just be sensible with your trades. We're in a bull market. You shouldn't be losing money right now. All right? I love your faces. I'll catch you in a little bit, guys. Bye-bye now.